This is the time to come together to keep our country safe forever. So open up your heart, let us show love come ease. Cause love is all we need to make a stand. Let's protect one another and let's live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia.
Sweet Mama Liberia. Love is all we need to make a stand. I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining the broadcast. This is the Dakpannah Show, the nation's premier platform where we discuss the issues that matter most to Liberia. I want to say thank you wherever you are, however you are following. It's good being back on the nation's premier platform. I want to say thanks to all of you guys that have joined in, and I want to say thank you. This is the Dakpannah Show. We have come again with another edition of the Dakpannah Show. Today's edition of the Dakpannah Show promises to be thought-provoking, magnificent, and splendid. Want to say welcome wherever you are, however you are following. This is the Dakpannah Show. Please help to share the live, tell a friend to invite a friend. The Dakpannah Show is a thought-provoking and stimulating talk show that discusses topics of national significance. We agree to disagree with dialogue and our confrontation. We seek to make Liberia a wholesome, functioning society for all of us. On the Dakpannah Show, we speak words. We do not shoot bullets. Want to say welcome however you are, wherever you are following from. Want to say welcome. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Tell a friend to invite a friend. Let's afford others the opportunity to come on here. Let's discuss the issues that matter most to Liberia. Everything Liberia and Liberian related. We stand by the truth. Want to say thank you for joining the broadcast. We are excited to be back. Want to say thank you, and thank you. Please help us share the live. We have come again to discuss the issues, and we hope that you can join us within the discussion. Want to say welcome to all of you guys. We are excited. I want to say welcome, my dear brother, Mr. Papi, Savior Cody. We have come again. It's another day, another edition of the show. Welcome, brother.
Thank you so much. Like in America, we say another day, another dollar. So we we are
Yeah,
back again, and it's super exciting to be here. We're here to share our own thoughts on issues unfolding from the motherland. To
mhm,
begin with tonight, on the sportive note, we like to say
definitely.
congratulations. Congratulations to the Argentina team for winning the 2022 uh, World Cup, FIFA World Cup. And I also like to say congratulations to 23-year-old Kalim Mape, who did
Yeah,
exceptionally well for the French team. But however,
definitely.
at the age of 27, I'm optimistic that Kalim Mape will be able to lift that trophy. And I want you to save this post or to save this
Mm-hmm.
broadcast. Kalim
Mm-hmm.
Mape, when he turns 27, he will be able to lift the World Cup. And I mean, I wish him well in his career. He's a super and super talented, very energetic young man. I like to say congratulations to him and the entire French team. Though that was not what you guys expected, because you could see in the face of His Excellency the President Emmanuel Macron, uh, he was very much excited to see himself walking to that podium, congratulating the boy. I mean, penalty is no man game. Yeah, penalty is no man game. But on the field of play, French did all. I mean, the French team did all exceptional, great work. But however, that's it on the sporting
Mm.
note from my end.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say hats off to the boys of Argentina. I think Lionel Messi has proven to be the greatest player of all time. There's no doubt, no record, nobody can argue that. Lionel Messi is the best. He's the greatest of all time, the best ever footballer to live in modern day. So I want to say hats off to Messi, and we appreciate you for all that you've done for Argentina and the world of soccer. And I also want to say hats off to the French team. I've been supporting France, but I didn't support them today because Lionel Messi is my guy. But I think that the guy that you spoke about, I think he's somebody that I'm looking at keenly. And when Messi shall have retired, I think he's somebody that I can support and stand behind. But for now, Messi is the best. We want to say that Messi and the Argentina
Hmm.
team, congratulations. And congratulations to Qatar for hosting
Yeah,
the World Cup. I think it was very much unsuccessful.
I mean, it was super. There is
Mm,
no
mm,
news of violence,
mm.
nothing. So at the end
No.
of the day, I mean, the good thing about it, I mean, the reason I believe in Kalim Mape, he's from Africa. He's from Cameroon. Yeah, his parents are from Cameroon. So I mean, so I see
Mm,
myself in him. I see my child in him. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think he's a
So
good player. He's a player that we can look at. He's a
yeah.
player to look at. He's very talented. He's skillful. So I think he will do more than which club thing he's playing for?
Uh, Kali Mape, 1 second. Kali Mape, I think, if I'm not mistaken, along the line, I do not really know at the moment, but
Okay, I will do
uh,
a research too. Yeah, I intend to do that
mhm.
to know which team he plays for. All right, Papi. We are back again with another round of discussion, all of the issues in the motherland. But before we go to the main discussion, I want to gauge your view on you following the country. What do you make of the Christmas? The festive season. And
Well,
you get most of our relatives back home. Some of them they are calling on we are in the diaspora to give them something for the Christmas. But I've been following some interviews in the country where people have been reacting to the holidays. What do you make of the holidays in Liberia? Not here, but in Liberia. Do you think it's harder than ever before, or it's just good?
on the festive note, uh,
Mm,
realistically speaking, things are not like before, and things will not be
okay.
like before
Yeah.
because they change in the situation, or let's say with the global um, economic trend or trend down of activities. So at the end of the day, more besides, there is no lot of company in the country as we speak, like previous years. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
other company working in the country or operating in the country, but as we speak, it's tough. Even we
Mm.
who here, our wallets and our accounts are bleeding. The reason our accounts are
Definitely.
bleeding because, like for example, you cannot see family member or relative. If you set your own budget before your paycheck come or before the end of the day, you end up jumping into your saving. They got too many requests. Too many requests. Things are tough. Things are not working
Mm.
the way it's supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, like you asked, Kali Mape worked for AS. I mean, he played for Monaco.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, those are some of the things that are happening in the country as we speak. Like even when you talking to relatives or friends
Mm.
about the festive season, I say, my man, I just need something to eat to survive because there's nothing to celebrate. Absolutely, there is nothing to celebrate. I'm just here to be able to survive so that God can give me another day. God can give me another day. So at the end of the day, to that clearly tells you that things are not working well in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our leaders needs to do lots, you know.
Mm. Yeah, it seems like things are getting tough and tougher back home. Everybody's crying. I think I came across a video where they're saying that for the Christmas season, that Gary, you're gonna eat Gary. It's a Gary, you consider as a Gary Christmas. We want to wish you a Gary Christmas.
Yeah,
because
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 it's not Mary. It's not Mary. No, it might sound somehow, but to be honest, it's not like you and myself. We used to see, we say, we wish you Merry Christmas, right? But now it's not
Mhm.
Merry anymore. The intent of Christmas is for all to merry make. But the people, there's nothing to merry make. So they're right about that. That is a Gary Christmas. Instead of you say Merry Christmas, say Gary Christmas. Because it's tough, you know.
Yeah, gotta why it's a Gary Christmas. All right. So okay, the president concluded his long visit, and I understand that some people saying 40 days, he stayed out of the country 40 days. Some people say 48 days. Whatever it may be, he stayed out of the country for a very long time, almost 2 months. And he was in Washington, D.C. He met with Mr. Biden, the President of the United States of America, in the U.S. Africa Leadership Summit, and so forth. What do you make of it? Not looking at the other travels, but the president
Well,
involvement or the president participation within the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit.
excluding the leader of South Africa that I did not see as from my information that he's currently being investigated for corruption. So for that
Hmm.
reason, he
Hmm.
wasn't. They just ended Africa Africa U.S. Leaders Summit in Washington D.C. Well, I hope our president, Mr. George Manawia, will seize
But
this
not only him,
opportunity
not only
to
him,
be
we have
able to
Mali,
step up
Papi.
again.
Not only
But
him, Mali
Mali,
didn't go.
the president
Mali,
came,
Guinea.
he had the opportunity or the privilege to sit with Mr. Biden and they even watched football game together. I think it was the Template match. They watched that game together, and at the end of the day, there were a lot of conversations or a lot of reports that came out of there. The main purpose of the Africa Leaders Summit was to shape the future of Africa in terms of as you may be aware of the global trend of insecurity, particularly from Russia, the current situation in Russia as well as China. Um, the U.S. intend to have African countries stable and peaceful so that they can be able to work on their security. Though our president told us, I cannot guarantee no one their security, but rather you should go and buy your own CCTV camera. But the U.S. could invite him to Washington, D.C. and for him to participate. In that civilized manner. I hope he took key from what he learned so that he can be able to provide a needed security for the people that he leads. So we hope and pray that this president will leave from here or has already left. Information is that he's merrymaking right now in Ghana. So
Well, I don't know why he's
it's not part of his
merrymaking. Why I was
official.
told that he is taking some rest
If you're talking, I can hear
to
you.
to 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 be in Liberia on tomorrow.
I can hear you.
You not hearing me? Shelton,
I
are you
hearing you.
getting me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
hearing you.
I
Papi,
can hear
something
you.
wrong. Something there's a problem for your end because
I hear
I'm clear. Yeah, Shelton is
you.
hearing me. You hearing Shelton?
I can hear.
No, but
Okay,
then you have
then
to check.
maybe you muted yourself, but we hearing him so.
Hello?
But Shelton, welcome.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are hearing
yeah.
you. You hearing us?
I can hear you guys.
But then log out, get out, you come back in. Yeah, Shelton, go
Can you
ahead.
hear
Let me
me? Huh?
move in. We are hearing you, but you're not hearing us.
But I can hear you guys. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, then log out and come back in. Shelton, go ahead. Uh, welcome, Shelton. Go ahead. We'll get Papi off the screen. We'll come back in.
Yeah, thank you, Dakpannah. Thanks to Papi as well, even though he's not hearing right now. But I've been following you guys, you know, while we're trying to lock in. I've been following you guys. And I would like to say it's a pleasure again for us to be here uh, at this time because I think this is our obligation right now to our country and to ourselves and to our family member because when you have committed yourself to do certain thing, it's your obligation that when the time comes, you
Hmm.
should try what means to make sure that what you have committed yourself to comes to
Yeah.
reality. So we are happy to be here.
I want to appreciate you, my dear brother. Shelton, that's the problem we face with. We Liberians. Normally, we don't love to support each other. We don't love to support the cause when it comes to national development, national building. So, we commit ourselves to something. We just do it one, two times, and then we just
Can,
let it go. We not noted for just we not noted
Yeah,
for you know.
can you hear me?
yeah,
Yeah, we are hearing you. Hearing us now?
All right, good, good, good.
Okay. Yeah, we are not committed for continuing something. We just like to do it and go. Some of us, so but we commit ourselves to this. Those are all who got love for Liberia and who believe that what we are doing will make a change. We'll continue to do it, no matter the support, no matter the views, no matter what. We'll continue. But Shelton, who before we go to the issue, how did how did you see the just ended World Cup? I don't know who were you supporting.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Even though I did not watch the
The
final
final.
today,
Oh wow, that was a game, man.
due to some busy schedule. But
Okay,
the beginning, I was supporting France. Yeah, I was supporting France, and unfortunately, I got to understand today that Argentina won again. But it's
yes,
okay, football game, you cannot
it was
predict
a tough match, very
Yeah,
tough.
so I think it's also good that Messi, who have been winning world best over a period of time, as per my knowledge, he had not won the World Cup before. So today, by you winning the World Cup, is a clear indication so that he is a successful person as well. And
No, he wanted. He no. This is the second time winning it.
oh, this is second time winning, eh?
Yes,
Okay. So thank you for that correction. Thank you for
yeah,
that correction. Yeah.
yeah,
So we are happy he won again. So that's it.
yeah.
Even
I
though,
think if, mhm.
yeah,
He said even though when Sheldon say even though that mean he coming to say something different. Why you say even though?
though I said, even though I supported,
Oh,
even though I
France.
support,
Okay,
but football game in every competition there should be a winner. So it was good that
okay,
he now won. Yeah.
okay. All right. So President, we are over the week wrap up his visit,
I mean, I think
a long visit.
I was,
Okay, yeah, probably go ahead, but I just wanted to
yeah.
talk about either deal. But go ahead, probably go ahead. Your influx, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hearing you. Go ahead.
All right.
Hope you are hearing
First of
us.
all, yes. First of all, as we speak, President Weah wrap up his activity in the United States. He's currently
Hmm.
merrymaking in Ghana. Yeah, he currently merrymaking in
what,
Ghana.
what do you mean by
I
he's
mean,
married making? Why would the president want to marry make
yes,
in Ghana?
yes.
He
So
been all the countries. He didn't marry make.
let
He didn't marry make in
let
the U.S. Dollar. He going to Ghana to marry make
of
for how many days?
course,
Just a day.
like others, the others say the president found sees pleasure in when he also he are best, because like we have
Okay.
lot of competing priority right now. No leader
Hmm.
will stay over 40 days out of their country, and you go sit in a country that is, let's say, an hour 30 minute of flight.
But that's a layover. That's a layover, Papi. That's a
That
layover.
the layover is too long. Even the poorest person, the highest at the airport, is 8 hours, 9 hours. This person is there over 2 hours. It's a
Oh,
merrymaking. He's
but
not
the
saying,
information I gather, he just left yesterday.
oh my God, Dakpannah, when did
Yeah.
when did the African US leadership summit ended? From the 13th
If
to
I'm
the
not mis
15th.
if I'm not
From the
I
mistaken,
no, from the 13th to the 15th. That's it. Not
yeah, on the
mistaken. That's the
15th.
fact. Yeah, on the
Yeah,
it
the
15th.
started.
15th is what? It was on what day? Thursday or Wednesday?
The 15th was on Thursday. And the president doing that
So
tour, the
you mean that the
presidency,
president left immediately?
he left on Friday, which was
Oh,
the
Friday. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, Friday, if you leave from here to go to Morovia, if it is with SF Brussels, the highest is 10 hours. But the president decided to stay to Accra to Merrimack. To Merrimack. And he's not even going to country today, which is Sunday. The
Oh
president
my
is
God.
leaving Accra tomorrow. He's leaving Accra on Monday.
So listen, you. It looks like Papi want to say something that he's not saying it right. Yeah. What you mean about marriage making? What really you trying to say that
Yeah, I
you are
don't
The
know
not?
because we've been
president,
hearing, Pape,
abs-
we've been hearing rumors that the president Hold on, let me who talking. You say you scared. Let me tell what I heard. I
Uh-huh.
heard that President Weah is in Ghana to make Jackie appear as a second wave. I don't know how true is that.
That's the rumor myself I heard on Facebook, that his intention
Is
of
that a,
spending the
is that
rest
a,
of the time in
is that a
Ghana is
merry
to make Jackie appear his second wife.
is
That's
Mhm.
that a merry
speculation. That's merrymaking because it's not of national priority.
I just
It's
said
not of national priority.
you are
The
selling
But
into
president,
will
the
it be
business.
wrong
the
if that is something to go by? Will it be wrong? The man is he's an African.
brother, George Weah is a bishop. He own a church. So who shall the bishop marry two wives? See, just tell me, then I will rest
But
my
the man's
case.
not a bishop. The man's
He's
not a
a
bishop.
bishop. No,
Okay.
he's a bishop. The man takes on the pulpit to preach. You don't know Joey again, own church for Kekulon church.
I know you got a church, but
Oh, so tell me
he
now.
has a
And the
he
man,
has a pastor at that church.
eh, who the pastor? Who
Emmanuel,
the
Reverend
pastor?
Emmanuel Nimlan. Reverend Emmanuel
Emmanuel
Nimlan
Nimle,
is the pastor.
Reverend Emmanuel Nimle is the religious advisor to the president.
Yeah, he
That's his
is, but he
position.
also the head of the church.
No,
I can all follow
no.
him going live on that
Fuck a
church
clone,
preaching.
fuck a clone. The church, the senior pastor is George Manuel Weah.
No, I
Emmanuel,
don't know that to be true. When was
anyway,
President Weah ordained? When was
okay,
he
come on.
ordained?
Then go and ask George Weah that question. Not me. That question is not be my question. I am not the deputy press secretary to George Weah, neither doing
Hmm.
Smith to be well or doing Access Solo Kepa work. Okay?
Yo,
Then the president got a team of
hello.
communicators. They should be
Hold
able
on
to
one minute.
tell
Hold on.
us. You
Hold on
understand?
one minute.
They should be able to tell us. But I'm not here to answer that question that, oh, when will he ordain? The president woke up one morning, he opened a church. The president opened a church. And at the end of the day, cabinet officials and officials of his government are mandated to go there. It was even a church that the 53-year-old man referred to himself as Jion Togbekugbe. You don't know that? The man who on sanction list, built away.
Yeah,
You don't know that?
yeah,
That one I secret again, I
yeah,
can tell you. And
you
the
are
man
right.
said, for that reason, say his father, who is George Weah, who is also 54-year-old, how can two of you be of the same age and you call the man your pa? Sycophancy to the highest, to the highest. Based upon that, they were using that to do a lot of criminal activity in the country. That was led him to be on sanction today. And you understand? We're talking about governance. Then it can
But
be
Papi,
friendship.
Papi,
Dakpannah, let's go to the meat of the African
yeah, yeah. No, hold
Leader
on. Before we go
Summit.
to the meat,
Yeah,
yeah, before we
please.
go to the meat, let we go back to Ghana. I understand that the president
Mhm.
is traveling with his wife, and a lot of information that he left the wife behind. But I've just been told that the president is traveling with his wife, so it's not possible that rumors that Joey is going to get a second wife. I don't know
Uh,
who it is that she the first
you
wife
did
she
not hear
endorsed
that
it.
from my mouth. You did not hear that from my mother. George, we
No,
are going to
I
get his second
no.
word. You
I'm
said
not saying.
you hearing a
Hold on,
rumor.
man.
Mhm.
I thought yeah, but we're speaking of the rumors now. We're speaking of the news, so it ain't gotta be you, your friend. Shadow, man, a friend on the one, but
No,
Shadow,
because no,
you.
listen, Dakpannah, everything I say here,
Mm.
without any information here, it is something that I have investigated and I have spoken to
Okay,
reliable source.
so
So
you
for
got
the
no
issue,
knowledge on the president going to Ghana to
the
get his
president,
second
for me,
wife.
I just told you the president's sole intent or purpose of being in Ghana is a mere merry. You just try
In
to
what sense, now? In what sense?
just to merry to have fun time. Yeah, we have to
But
go
if
to
I can be
jacuzzi.
it can be held in Liberia.
For which I don't know. The president is the
Okay.
president of the republic, and which we know everything you think about is in the president's house. All of his houses that he built, even the house that on 9th Street, all the rooms that got bathroom, got jacuzzi in it. In Liberia, I'm not joking you. I'm getting reliable information. That's something
I mean,
that I
you've
can
been
speak with
there.
confidence.
You've been
Uh,
there. You
it
saw
got
it.
yes, it got jacuzzi in all.
Okay.
The main swimming pool, a change color.
You know, Bobby saying the thing. Yeah, he was there. He saw it.
I am telling you
Okay.
that the president is living luxury in Liberia. If you're talking about have fun, If I'm traveling with my wife and I know that I have all the luxury, I will be so quick to go back home. But to go and stay to one country, in our like I brought for money, the incidental of 2,000. How the call it day that he's spending there, that 2,000 will be paid to him. A no more for the 8 day, a no more for the 9 day. President leave from Ghana tomorrow to go to Liberia. You know it will be how many days? 50 days. Joe, we have spent all in the country. What kind of country? What kind of man is that? What kind of man is that?
But I got information that the entire trip from November 1st up to the 18th, or up to, let me say, up to the 15th, because according to you, he left the US on the 16th, up to the 16th.
According to me,
President
that's
we
the
are
fact.
President we are able to get 2 million for Liberia. No, not 2 million, but 200 million. 200 million for Liberia. And also, Eugene Nangwe said that
Mhm,
President Weah is expected to meet US President Joseph Biden
mhm.
in March of next year.
And
So
that
don't you think it was successful? It was a successful trip for Liberia to be getting 200 million?
200 million from the Africa US summit,
No, in everything, all the places he went.
that's not a fact. Eugene number was never realistic about that number. I yet to see it. And remember, if you
So you
say
are in doubt. You are doubting that.
I am not gonna eat that, I don't believe that. That is complete
Okay.
mirage. It's a
So
complete
why
mirage.
why you think
Nobody
Gucci now want to benefit to tell the entire world? Because when he had that press conference, he had other foreign journalists at that press conference.
First of all, if Eugene Nangbe, like you said, Eugene Nangbe came out to say, Eugene Nangbe in the first place, he's not the information minister, neither the official spokesperson. The last time I ever
But
checked,
the president,
he
but
is the
that's
he
not, that
is
shouldn't
the
be an issue.
commissioner.
That shouldn't be an issue because the president designated him to speak,
No,
and the president can designate anyone to speak. So that shouldn't be an issue.
designated designated him to speak. I agree with you.
Mm,
The president
mm.
can designate whoever. Then the president should not have wasted the Liberian people money to carry the entire ERBC management team and the entire press office. That is the press secretary was in Washington. The deputy press secretary was in Washington. The deputy information minister was in Washington. Then you have a one maritime commissioner supposed to be talking about our fishery and our ship. To tell a president designated him, you think that cleaners who can be doing here, or let's say because the men are crew men,
But
so
the ERBC people
crew
wanted
how
to
call it.
play their role. You saw Titi Jibo there interviewing Eugene Nangwe. They were there to play their role as a national broadcaster.
Oh
So
my
you
God,
cannot say it was wrong for them to be
brother,
there.
brother, brother,
Mhm,
Dakpannah,
mhm,
this trip we are to critique this trip on who to come on this trip because
mhm.
ERBC executive mansion correspondent, CNN, the executive mansion
But we need to give
correspondent.
it to the government. At least they were able to bring few journalists on the trip. They brought our brother from Africa, Gerald Koyine. They brought Khan Adawakan. They also brought Alexa. So you see, they brought few journalists with them, and they brought the ERBC folks.
Alexas, all over they are all stooges of the government.
Nobody they are from a private radio station. That's not a government run radio station.
That radio station, Freedom FM, is a SEMA ERBC. You understand? It's a SEMA ERBC because Mr. Sam Sanya is the Deputy National Security Agency Deputy Director. So everything that goes on at Freedom FM is completely a relay of ERBC activities. Forget about it. That is not something.
But this
So it was
this
just.
this station been existing prior to the We Are
I agree.
regime.
I agree.
Hmm.
Can I say we're not existing? But don't you know about regime collaborators? About regime collaborators? What happened to Mamadi Diakete radio station? When Mamadi Diakete were alive, you know what? May his soul rest in peace. Mention you need tonight. Mamadi Diakete make all the trip with Mrs. Salif. Make all the trip. At one point, he even said if George Weah will ever become president, I remember that video still on YouTube. If George Weah will
Yes,
ever become president, it will be all my dead body.
he said Gorgon drinking juice.
Speaking Jew.
The may we have to be president.
Before we have to become president, the so recipe he died. So at the end of the day, he was whining and dining to the tune of the leadership at that time. This is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. All the fabulous trip, African Union, the United Nations, the other place, and at the end of the day. And when that man go back, you'll be downloading everything of Mrs. Sirleaf. That's how a regime collaborator works. And when the regime goes, and you follow. Peter, where is Peter Tobe today? Smith Tobe brother that used to be with LCM. Where is he? Government go. LCM. Where is LCM? My man. Let's go to the show, bro.
But you talking about LCN, that one, the president's station.
Yeah, so
And now you
oh my God, I'm just telling you that all the people that came, the only clean independent journalists I saw on that trip were Gerald from Page Africa, and even I can bet my neck for it. Mr. Ronald C. is one of the media executives in Liberia. La, what are you going? Bobojide. Africa gave you DSA as I can put my neck. The Ministry of State gave money, or the governor of Liberia gave money. Front Page Africa also sponsor that reporter trip.
okay. So Shelton, so what's your take before we move on?
Yeah, I've been quietly listening to Papi. Papi is in gear tonight. um, yeah, actually, I don't want to go in detail when it comes to the president's personal life. Yeah, why he choose to live. Personally, I don't want to go into that. But I'm concerned about his trade or about the length of time that he has spent out of Liberia. Yeah, there where my concern lies because I don't care whether he goes to how they call it, Ghana or whatever places he wish to go and go have fun time, as Papi said. That's a personal life for me. I intend not to go that far. But if you have a president or our president leaving the country for almost over about 40 days now, it raises serious concern because if we look at Liberia today, there are a lot of priority issues like what Papi said. In our country now, that people barely, eat, people go to bed hungry, there is no food in the country, economy is shaking, even though the finance minister have been, boasting that we have a budget surplus, which of course we cannot see the trickle down effect on our people. But because if you saying or if you telling me that you have a budget surplus, the budget surplus, it should have an impact on the livelihood of the people. But if you brag on budget surplus only because it's on pen and paper and the common Liberia to waterside cannot feel the impact of the budget surplus, that will raise concern. For me, like I said it the last time, I think I said it on one of our shows that for the time I've been knowing myself as human being, or I've been seeing some president from past president of Liberia. This is my very first time to have seen president leaving the country with kind of long period of time. And then Papi also talk about, and you also talk about the president said, let me say, Eugene Nangwe said he have over 200 dividend that the president will bring this country. Yes, for me, I will be happy as a Liberian to see a president bringing 200 million, as you said. But what I also stand to have doubt in when you said the president, when Eugene Nangwe said the president stand to carry 200 million is, if you just speak, that kind of vague manner without disclosing it to the public, where is the money coming from? Whether it's the American government who giving the money, whether it's some other panel or some other people that you've been meeting, whether they are the one that are giving the money, then you will be able to convince some of us that what you are saying is true. But you just come out to make a vague statement, with all the, because mind you now, Dakpannah, we have to be very serious now, because like what Papi said, the president have the spokesperson always, that the government of Liberia, or that we are paying that person. Even though you said the president can designate anyone, for me, I'm not seeing whether it is a law that can get the president to designate anyone to just speak. But what I do know is the president get a spokesperson, and the government also get a spokesperson that is from Ministry of Information angle. So if some of us can take some important information from certain people, it will not be people like Eugene Nangbe, because he is not designated, or he is not clogged with a responsibility to get
But
such
no,
information.
Shatta, I want to hold you right there. How will you say that? If
I'm
all
saying,
those guys work at the will and pleasure of the president, the president can designate anybody to
that's what I'm
represent the
saying.
country.
As per law, I will not take a serious information from him, because he is not the
How will you
one
not
that.
take your serious information from somebody who is a communicator? This man's a communicator, a CC communicator. Even though
But he
he in different capacity.
Dakpannah,
do
we
Yeah.
agree. We agree he's a CC communicator, right?
CC
Mhm.
communicator, but constitutionally, he not charged with a constitutional
How will you say
responsibility.
that? Why will you say that? The
But we
president
have
can
a.
designate anybody. It is by law. President we can designate anybody to represent the country in any capacity.
No, I'm not saying the president cannot designate anybody to represent the country. That's why I'm not saying that. I'm
But
talking
then
about
you
in
saying by law. Then what do you mean by law now? By law. What do you mean by law? Because the law
law.
says President we can designate anybody to represent the country in any capacity. Any capacity. That's the law.
Oh, Dakpannah,
Hmm.
you,
Hmm.
you are done. You are done.
Go ahead.
If a serious issue comes up in our country right now, people will be angry, or people that are out of Liberia, even within Liberia, will be very angry to hear from the Minister of Information, who is a spokesperson for the government. All right. So whilst today, Eugene Nangwe says something, and tomorrow they say, oh, in fact, the president said, oh, in fact, Eugene is not a spokesperson for the president. And all the things we are saying, you are just saying that the president designated him. But
But
I'm
Shelton,
telling you, a
the information
layman,
minister is not part of the delegation. He's not part of the delegation.
You
The
had a deputy
maritime commissioner is
information
part of
minister
the
there.
delegation.
You had a deputy
I know
information minister.
there's a people on the information ministry
Sheton,
that part of that
Sheton,
as well.
Sheton, let
So
me
he's
just
not be there.
Sheton, Sheton, let me
You
just
know,
come in. Sheton, let me just come in.
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Eugene,
go
let me just come in. Mr. Eugene Nangbe is designated or was appointed as commissioner and CEO
ahead.
of Maritime.
Yeah, yeah.
Eugene Nangbe could come on our trip to tell me about his maritime deal that was signed, but not to tell me about the president activity. I said, you want to tell me now?
But what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
Capacities.
What is wrong
Um,
with the man coming on to talk about the president activity when he is on the trip and he's
It is wrong.
designated by the
It is
president
wrong.
to speak
It is
to other
wrong.
issues?
let
It
me
is usurping of
Then
function.
is the immediate past information minister. That's what you guys need to know. He's the
It is called
immediate past
usurpation.
information minister.
whether
That
he,
minister, I mean, that commissioner general was usurping the function of the press secretary office at the same time the deputy information minister that was on a trip. That's it.
but Dakpannah, you have
But
forgotten
I
so
don't
soon.
think he's acting. He acting on his own. He's not acting on his own.
Dakpannah, you have forgotten
Hmm.
so soon. You have forgotten so soon that
Okay. Mhm.
in a time the president of Liberia said, I think you know that it came a time there are people that were just coming anytime, giving information to the public. Like the whole government now, or everybody will just come and talk. I think the president said, in fact, those who charge with a responsibility, for example, if you are minister for commerce, we expect you when it comes to commercial issue of our country, for you to address that. I think the president said that, because what all you saying, you said the president designated him, but I don't know how true it is. But what we are saying here is they can they kind of a crucial time or they kind of dedication. Liberian back home, they are waiting to hear from people that can speak from because
Sheldon, you listen to the interview with Eugene Nangwe on the BBC. You listen to that interview. How did they introduce him?
how
They
they do.
introduced him as the interview that Eugene Nangwe did. After they don't
Yeah.
spoke, then Eugene Nangwe came out to speak. How did they introduce him? The host of that show on BBC. How did they introduce Eugene Nangwe? They
Sheldon,
introduced
You
Eugene Nangwe as the advisor,
what the
advisor of
advisor?
advisor to the president.
The advisor to the
what
president. So the
you
Yes.
want
president,
me
the
to
president appoint people without this the Senate confirmation,
Well,
right?
the president don't have to appoint everybody.
Oh my
The
God.
man is already sitting in
Oh
government.
man.
So the man is already sitting in government as a commissioner of maritime. So he will also advise the president on communication matters.
also you want me to be to
Do
take
you guys
you
think it was
want me
a mistake for the host to say that?
no listen you want me to agree because the interviewer introduced the man as a advisor, so you want me to accept it because I can't accept it even though the interviewer may be making mistake or the interviewer may be giving a wrong info because for what I do know Eugene Nangwe's position right now is he is not a advisor to the president that we all know even though he has been performing
Not on
we all
paper,
know
but strategically, that could
you
be.
know strategy. So it means that anything bad tomorrow, people will come out with information did not come from the president office.
I mean,
Those are some specification that
Sheldon,
people will bring tomorrow,
Sheldon,
all right? But if
Sheldon.
the information ministry or from the president's spokesperson, it will be reliable that anything goes on, people will say yes, the information coming from there. But you want me to believe where tomorrow somebody will come and say, yeah, it's a mistake. The information did not come from the president's spokesperson. Those are all strategies that people can be putting together. All right. But then I'm not saying to you, like you said, the president designated him, but I don't know how true it is. But I'm telling you, it will be more reliable
Shelton,
if
for the fact that this man is with the president on the travel and he's speaking on behalf of the government, that's the fact. That's the truth. What more truth do you want to know that the president designated his brother? The man is speaking. He on the BBC. He
Sheldon,
on VOA, and
Sheldon,
he's speaking at the
Sheldon,
United Nations with the
Sheldon,
international media. So what kind of truth?
that
What more truth do you want?
Sheldon,
you
Hmm.
want me to believe when you just
Sheldon,
say they bring
Shelton,
200,000.
Papi talking to you.
Sheldon. Hold up.
Mm.
Dakpannah, Dakpannah.
Yeah. Hmm.
If we have the privilege now to have Mr. Eugene Nangwe on this show, first of all, Eugene Nangwe has the right to tell her, oh yeah, introduce me as this. So whoever that interview Mr. Eugene Nangwe on the BBC, Eugene Nangwe told them to introduce. But for me, our papi cannot refer to Eugene Nangwe as the advisor to George Weah. I will introduce Eugene Nangwe as the director general or the commissioner general.
Do you know people can serve in multiple capacities?
What?
Do you know that people can serve in multiple capacities?
Serving in multiple capacity, the one that is legal and statutory, it is the one as a journalist in the country that I will introduce him.
Okay.
If I was to be in New York, or let's say in Washington, D.C., to be part of the team of journalists that were interviewing Mr. Eugene Nangwe, I'll refer to him as the Commissioner General of the Liberia Maritime Authority. I will not refer to him as advisor to the president because it is not legal, it is not legitimate, it is illegitimate. Whatever thing is for him, then that part of their clique, not governance.
But when they usually become advisor to the president, Dakpannah, I think you can answer that question.
But Shelton, you guys are getting this thing. The man can serve in dual capacity. He can serve in dual capacity. Everybody we know him to be the communication, not the communication, but commissioner of maritime or maritime commissioner. But he is a communication expert. He been there, he done that. He's a media guru. But the fact of the matter is that The man is on the trip. You think the president will just put the man on the trip just because the president
Dap-
wants to perhaps
So then why,
probably on
Dakpannah,
the trip for this trip,
you put
the
a
man is
deputy
the
press
communication
secretary?
advisor
So
to the
the deputy
president.
press
He's the
secretary
communication
was just there
advisor.
as a
That's the
message
reason why he's
for
speaking on behalf of the government. So he could take on that responsibility for for interim. It's an interim stuff. Who knows?
I mean
Dakpannah, I
Dakpannah.
think what you doing or what the president is doing now, he's trying to belittle those that he appointed. A lot like he now really get confident in those that he appointed, right? I think I'll ask you so because
But the
if
issue
you
we should be pushing here, the men are speaking.
but the
Doesn't
men
doesn't he doesn't
are
he doesn't he have the capacity to do so? Is he not well abreast with what he's speaking
Dakpannah,
about?
but
Hmm.
Sheton,
aspect
let me just come in. Sheton,
I can
Sheton, let me come in. Sheton, let me come in. With information that we have gathered, so President Weah has just proven to the entire world or to the Liberian people
Hmm.
that he lived on gossip. And it is bad for the office of the president because
What gossip then?
information
Hmm.
is that he and Ledger
Hmm.
who Rennie, they're not speaking.
No,
Yes,
no,
information
Bobby, just say that.
that
Leisure
is
Rennie
the
they issuing
information.
statement on behalf of the government. Recently, Leisure Rennie issued two
Setting
different statements on
at the
behalf of the
ministry of
government. So why would you say the man
setting at the
Leisure Rennie not speaking?
hold on, setting at the Ministry of Information to issue statement and going to the executive mansion for briefing is different. You know who has been going to the executive mansion for briefing? From the information that I have gathered and I confirmed. The person who have been receiving information from the president office on behalf of the government is Waka Fofana, who is the Deputy Minister for Technical Services. And that man's job is to be in Liberia to run behind video club and cinema to regulate them. You know who's supposed to be going to the mansion if the information minister is not around? Jalawa Tombo, who is the deputy minister for press and public affairs. The president
yeah.
came on gossip, man. We running government here.
The president dance every the
We
Well,
president
running
forget
government.
I disagree. I disagree. But here,
You
go ahead.
I mean you disagree, but that's just the fact. Investigate this. You have your own intellect, your own skill. Put your intellect on. Go and investigate it. If you not come back with the information that the current information minister, Ledger Ureni and President we are for the past 7 months, they can't see eye to eye. On numerous occasions from going close to the president. The only
All
person
right.
that go to get information on behalf of the government is the Deputy Minister for Technical Services, Bwaka Fofana. And Bwaka Fofana's job is to be regulating video club and cinema. But
All
you
right. I
take
go
that
back to
man,
shelter for you
you
to
take that man.
climax, and then we'll go to the next point.
yeah, like I just told you for me,
Hmm.
if today or on the show here and you appoint Papi to be the spokesperson, I think it would be necessary that we give Papi the chance to do a job. All right. But if you appoint Papi as a spokesperson for the show, then tomorrow, anytime you want for somebody to speak on behalf of the show, then you designate I just say Big Brother Richardson, or maybe you designate me to be the spokesperson. Then it means that you not really a singular that you don't trust Papi, or you don't just believe in why it just single, because what we are saying, most of those people that have been appointed to Ministry of Information and they have been paying Liberian people, we have been paying those people, even from the EFBC, all our stuff. But if you appoint somebody to be the spokesperson for the government, or you appoint somebody to be your spokesperson, and this time around, the person you not trust the person, or you are not being given the opportunity for the person to really demonstrate why he has been appointed for, then it raise a serious alarm. All right, for me, as you say, he designated Eugene now because most of what is going on in Liberia now is the same president who said yesterday that those are being charged with the responsibility, those who are being appointed to various ministries to perform their duty. And then he deviating from the same thing that he said yesterday. Then it means that I don't know which one we should believe now. But in overall, it was better, or it is better that those that are being charged on their duty, better that you give them the opportunity to carry on their duty. That's why I see it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we've been getting information according to Eugene language, and even though you guys don't, y'all have problem with him speaking, but he said the entire program, all the president travels, the government were able to accumulate 200 million,
From
200
whom?
million.
From whom?
All the places they've been going, all of the places they've been going,
Oh,
Morocco, Egypt, Monaco, Qatar,
in as
USA. So all the
Dakpannah,
places they've been going,
One
as
second.
soon as
200
One,
million.
one second.
as soon
Shelton.
as
Shelton.
Morocco 500,000 can just drop from sky. Or when they other country, the other amount just dry. Is that why you trying to tell us?
Shelton.
Why you say drop? What do you mean by drop?
Shelton.
The president went to this place and
Shelton.
negotiated and interact with those people. And then they were able to sign agreement. They came out to an
Dakpannah.
agreement to support the government. And he said drop from the sky. What do you mean by that?
I
Dakpannah.
said drop
Yeah.
because you're not getting anything that will convince
But I'm
or as
telling you
how
that Eugene Nangbe said, he said, I'm gonna give you what you want me to
Dakpannah.
give you. They said all
Dakpannah.
the president travels for the
Dakpannah.
8 days the president been traveling all the various countries, they were able to accumulate 200 million for all of the places they've been going.
Dakpannah.
statement.
Yeah.
Why I just
Dakpannah.
told you it's vague.
Shelton, let me come in. Let me tell you this. Dakpannah.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Liberian people, not only us sitting on the show tonight, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Liberian people knows better. They know better. You are not
So
Eugene
why you
Nangbe,
guys
right?
incinerating here?
Hold
What
on.
you guys incinerating?
First of
You
all,
guys incinerating that the government is not saying the truth. It is why you guys incinerating.
I come in. All of what Eugene Nangbe said is, and I
What I
told
Mm-hmm.
said.
you initially, all of what Eugene Nangbe said, I
Mm-hmm.
told you initially is a mirage. So why do I say so? In the first place, the promise or whatever, the 162 million or 65 million that were committed or promised by African countries that go into elections. The
That one's
Liberia
a
had not
general
hold
contribution.
on,
General
hold on.
contribution. Mm-hmm.
Had not gotten that portion yet. You had to go write proposal. You had to come up with programs as it relates to your
Yeah,
elections.
but
So listen, listen,
he was not specific to say, oh,
oh
this
my God.
country
You
give
say
this
travel
country
now.
give that. But
And you say
we having a
travel.
conversation here. The man said 200 million all in all.
So I'm just telling you, it is not physical money that they're taking back. So Eugene Nangbe must be speaking to the conscience of Tewa, Tama, Sia, and Kuma in the village to tell them, or let you go to Fokeklon Church and take the pulpit and speak to the conscience of Fokeklon Church members, but not with the Liberian people, because that is completely sheer nonsense. I will say that. Because in the first place, the entire trade, the president would need to give her updates. The Liberian, he need to go and speak to the legislature or to brief his finance ministry team. And the finance ministry come out and tell us that, oh yeah, from the president visit, we're able to secure this. But for Eugene Nangbe to that can stand because he wore nice coat suit, he's standing in front of many cameras and say, oh, the president got a total of 200 million. Is it 200 million a joke? Is it a joke?
But what you trying to say that the government is not qualified
It's a
to
lie.
lobby and
It's
do
a
a lobby
it's
for
a
200 million?
lie.
Do you know how many countries the government went to? Do you know how many countries President Wuhu, how many people got President we are interacted with? So I would believe that. I think that it is something that for us to believe and hope that they will be able to do everything to get that money. But I don't think it's something that I will dismiss the commissioner. I can't dismiss that.
You for me,
What happened for
it's
me?
not because you are a reaction, and for me, I'm a realist. I don't believe in
Well,
that.
I don't
I
know
don't believe
whatever
in
you
that.
want to say, but the fact of the matter is, I speak to the issues. I don't know if I'm a reaction. If you say I'm a
You want
Joe
you
reaction, then I will agree. You gotta
Tell
support
me,
July Taylor. And it's
you want to
OP.
tell
But the fact of the matter is that you cannot have a government official coming out to tell us, give us a full briefing of all the president travels, and then you want me to question it?
I
What
agree.
capacity do I have to question it?
I, the same capacity that you have not to disagree or not to question, that the same capacity I do have to question the statement coming from the mouth of Eugene Nangbe. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Today, you can bring me today. Even my 9-year-old son here cannot believe that nonsense.
So what about the 50,000 earlier on president the 50 I know 50,000 he got from Morocco. The first trip he got 50,000 from Morocco and other promises.
The man got
He,
50,000 and he spent 100. He spent 100,000
I think
on
50 million. I
incidental.
think I made you mistake. 50 million he got from Morocco. The 50 million he got from Morocco. Not thousand but million. 50 million he got from Morocco.
Okay.
Yeah, you know I can let me see the figure. 50 million he got from
Dakpannah,
Morocco.
Dakpannah,
And the Moroccan government promised to do other things. And
Dakpannah,
what's about the one that he got from Qatar as well?
Dakpannah, I agree with you, Dakpannah. They see ability that you have, right? They see ability
But
that you
anyway,
have.
it's a rather disagreeing, but I
Yeah,
agree
to
with the
be.
commissioner.
But I do not believe in that crap that coming from the mouth of that man called Eugene Nangbe. That's it.
Well, not considered as crap. I don't think he will take the international stage because when he was
That's
doing that interview, you have other media outlets, international media outlets over there.
I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are all international
So
media
you're not
outlets.
speaking. You're not only speaking to our Liberian media.
I mean, I agree. I agree with you. Absolutely, I agree with you. But my brother, I will not believe that thing coming from the mouth of Mr. Mr. until the president, the president financial team can come out to brief the legislature. Then with that, we know that tangibles. This president to just
Dakpannah,
come out and can't send one Eugene number to call it. That is same group people.
it will be good. It will be good at the 200 million that we're talking about. For me, like I just told you, I'm not doubting that the president visit or they did not, get dividend from the president visit about the 200 million that you're talking about. But what I'm doubting out here is if you telling me that you got 200 million, you should convince us as how you got it. So that tomorrow, if we say, oh yeah, the president visit, even though the president spent a lot of times from Liberia, but at least you were able to get 50 million from Qatar, you were able to get 100 million from American government, you were able to get, 20 million from Egypt. If you're doing no kind of thing, then we know that. But if you just count, you make a vague statement that we get 200 million, and most of the money that you got from outside there is, I will also be happy to see the trickle-down effect on Liberian. Because like you said it from your introductory statement about how our own brother and sister back home, every time, especially the kind of season that coming, how the people calling you, the people calling almost everyone other year, not only you alone. So that tells you that our country now, when it comes to job facility, when it comes to the economy of our country, is not really looking good. So that's why you see a serial minded big brother, a serial minded young guy, they are reducing themselves to be a backer. So if you get 200 million, yes, it is good. For me, let's see the 200 million you get, what difference or what
But can
positive
we wait? Can we wait to see? But you're getting dismissed the brother.
is
That's what you guys are
missing. But
doing. You're dismissing the brother. You're saying, Papi says a crap. He says a mirage. So if you're
yeah,
dismissing it, then it means that you're not believing in the government. Then why would the government come out and tell lie?
no, boy, it's not the first time for the government to lie.
Okay, so the government know that for lying. But okay, shut up.
Yes,
Let watch and see. We will see whether it's true or it's not true. But for me, I will believe it until it's proven to be false.
for me, I will not believe it or I will not doubt it right now that is true or is not true. But what I stand to see is if they can convince me as how they got out 200 million and who gave it to them and how impactful it is now to our Liberian brother or to the lives of Liberian, then I can stand to believe it now. But I'm not dismissing the
First of
fact that
all,
it never.
Shelton, monies are given on the international scene per projects, either through grants, loan, or priority projects. Eugene Nambe, you think I can work up to and just say, okay, you know what, on behalf of Dakpannah Show, we were able to get for ourselves 200,000. Whether it is a credit that somebody gave, or whether we took loan from one bank, or whether they went to go, they rent our credit, nothing. But for Eugene, like I say, I stand by my word. I say I will not believe that thing coming from the mouth of Eugene Nangwe. It is not true because this government is noted for lying. That thing is a big lie. L-I-E. Period.
Okay.
Lie. They can come out to tell what how much is in grant, how much is in loan, and how it's going to come, what is going to come in 6 months, what is going to come in 2 months. Better be able to give up. But for one man, the Jack can stay because he wear blue coats, so at the end of the day, he's standing in front of camera to just announce number. Then he want maybe to say, "Oh, for me, I believe it for now." So that way, for me, it's a L-I-E.
But
Lie.
most of us these days we are noted for just dismissing the government. Every time the government come up to say something, we just dismiss them only because we have political differences. So you cannot just dismiss your government. The government they are in charge of the country. They will not come and tell lies. So we got to give them the benefit of the doubt instead of just dismissing them. That's my issue.
Look, Dakpannah,
Let's hold
Dakpannah,
them accountable. Let's hold them accountable.
yeah, what you saying is the thing is just a common sense. Like I always told you guys here, if a finance minister, come up or any government official come up to say, okay, in the case of Eugene Nangwe and say, okay, in fact, we get 200 million, or the finance minister say we get budget surplus. Just a common living condition of Liberian will tell you that you get budget surplus. That one, it don't have to be people business. That one, that just common logic right there. Just the living condition of your people. They had the economy booming. That the old man in your grandchildren will get to know that there is no argument about that. But if you say, for example, in a simple way, you get plenty of money, or maybe you get, you are expecting plenty of money, and then a young guy on the old road cannot even sell farm food to eat a day, then you boast of budgets, then what the essence? That's what I'm saying here. All right. But then I just told you I'm not doubting, even though Papi have it in a way how he sees it. But for me, I'm not doubting till we can get an impact or we can know who or give all those money, then you are already convinced me. But right now,
Shelton, let me just bring something to your attention. I know we're about to move to another topic, right? Let me just bring something to your attention. In the first place, government told about having a new city, Bali Island. Where is the Bali Island? You want to come with me to have
it's in process, but you know that it's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Stop that. Leave
You
that.
know that it's ongoing. The Indian government came up and said it. The Indian government the Indian government came up and said it. Everything the government said, they how you call it, they confirm it. So
my
we
man,
all know that the project is ongoing. The last time we even saw the Ministry of Public where they were going there, they were looking at the roads to connect the island. There have been a lot of visitation to that place
come
in
on,
preparation
man.
of the
Go
construction.
how we can either be connected right now. Then you're talking about the
No,
one
we're
that
talking
we
about
are not.
Bali Island is going to our road again.
Oh my God. And we are saying, I hate Papa, and he told the Library people
The one that
got blueprint, and he the one can be able to implement. Let him implement now. Let him implement.
we not get.
First thing, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something, Dakpannah. Effectively January. Now we don't know when we start the voter registration. I should have gone to Liberia. I should have gone to Liberia in March. but I postpone my trip because in the first one, the reason why I'm going to Liberia for is to go and register to be able to vote. How am I going to go to Liberia when the government come out to announce that time indefinite? So I can waste my money. Yeah, so I can waste my money. Okay, effectively next year, around February, the whole country will be scattered. Nothing serious will be happening. Everybody will be campaigning. You know that?
Campaign.
Everybody
The
will
whole
be
of
campaigning. Then Eugene Nagbe telling you they get a 200 million. All right, we agree. The 200 million is already in President. We are suitcases. They carry it on
He didn't say that. He didn't say that the money was on him. He said they are been what's the word he used? He used a word. I can't remember it right now. But he said
we have to move.
they were promised. But there's a word he used when I walk in my here, I will tell you guys. But there's a word he used.
Your Nangbe story is very long. Let's move to our discussion.
But you guys want to dismiss the government, and I don't think it's fair.
My man,
let's give the government the benefit of the doubt.
No, but for me, you can give the government the benefit of the doubt. But for me, our papi savior call it, I say it's a LRE.
Okay, commitment. Okay, commitment. That's the word. He said there have been commitment. Their commitments have been made. So he said people they said all of the president we are when all in all there have been commitments of 200 million. So that's what he said. So that wait and see that the money will come in or not. That wait and see. But people commit themselves to offering the government something. And everything, when you calculate everything, is 200 million. Right. And he also said, I know this other one he said again that John Weah may likely meet with U.S. President next year March. He will be invited.
Listen, President Weah coming back March. It's not only President Weah alone. Even the France president.
Baby. We're talking about President Weah. Why you want to involve others?
Listen, first of all, the Africa-US summit that they had. First of all, did you listen to Biden? About their winner to see how best they can include Africa on G20. On G20. So the more powerful countries will also be meeting in Washington in March. So they have invited the African country, some of the African country presidents to come to be able to brainstorm.
But we are talking about our president. Why you want to talk about other presidents? We are talking about President Weah. He was invited. So, and that's it. He was invited to go there March. So that's it. So why you try to involve? Oh, he's not the only person.
He's not the only person.
You trying to make it look like.
I'm telling you, he's not the only person. Just so you know, he's not the only person. Until we can go and tell God, thank you. That time it will not be football time. It will be about knowledge and argue. It will be about knowledge and argue. So when we are going to Washington, it will be about knowledge and argue. They will not take it in one room again. They'll go sit there and watch football game to be getting the pattern, to be getting to be amusing the people.
You cannot take football away from President Weah. That what brought President Weah to prominence. You cannot take football away from him.
We agree.
So that it was just a coincidence. But the meeting those guys were over there for was to discuss among those 6 African countries to meet with the U.S. president to discuss about the elections that are coming up. Among those 6 African countries. So it was just a coincidence that the game was on. So why you want
to? It was in fact the game was not on doing a round table. It was after that round table they went to go watch the game.
So why you making it to be? So why you making it to be an issue?
The president, the essence of the president, all the president coming to Washington, that to promote food security. The people in Liberia are hungry. Dakpannah, no food. Washington brought the people in. President Biden brought them here to be able to find a way to mitigate hunger, to reduce hunger, to also advance peace and security. Our people not safe. You don't know that? Our people not safe. To be able to how you call it? To also promote global health. People dying in our country from curable diseases. Your finance minister had an accident. They flew him to Turkey. And they say they built health facility in Bapolu. Why they carry in Bapolu?
But because his case was severe, it was very critical. That
So
should be
now
issue. Even
America
if
bring
they say America will eat. Even if they say
America bring
America
these
will eat,
people.
they can fly people all of America and send to other country
Oh,
for
my brother,
special medical
my brother,
attention. So
my
we shouldn't be
brother.
acting like say
Having
it's
a
screening.
fracture, having a
So,
fracture
man,
in the hair or whatever.
eh,
Dakpannah, stop lecturing on it, man. I
Oh, but
just
you
continue.
give
know
you some
that even
area.
there's America will eat, people can leave from here and go to
Okay,
other countries to get advanced medical
they brought
treatment.
the broad president we are in order for the non-African country president to mitigate, to talk about the mitigation of the impact of COVID-19 and other future pandemic. How many professionals we got out there? When we talk about mitigation, they say the president was providing scholarship to how to call it. Let Joe we are continue to focus on that one, my brother. Having technicians in those area. That's the reason why he came to Washington D.C. But for one Eugene, I'm going to come go wear costume and go stay and put a hand in your pocket and be talking in front camera. Oh, we got this and that's there. My brother, it can't help us. Our people hungry. And they brought in America here to talk about what? Food security. Oh, yeah, my son going to school or
Eh,
my children in Africa going to school. You know how much it come from my pocket every day? You know how much it come from my pocket? Eh? You know how much that
oh,
come from my pocket? That's the reason why they brought him here. So that when my son go
so
to school, my son can feel comfortable, he focus on his lesson. But you know what I mean for a child to call and say, oh, daddy, I'm hungry. You know what I mean?
happy
But
we
we
always do things, we
Okay,
do differently in
okay, Shannon,
Liberia.
land. That move to the next. That move to
yeah.
the last talking point. So we can call it a day. That go to the last talking point. But Shannon, land on this one, and then I'll go to the last talking point.
So, as I was saying, no, Liberia, our way of
Oh,
doing.
but wait, but what are you laughing for? You want me to continue to be honest?
Our
Oh
way of,
yeah, because we have discussed this sufficiently. So that move on. That Shannon close up and we move on.
I was our way of doing things Liberia is just opposite to development of country, especially like American. That when I got here to understand that even though when I was in Liberia, when the president talk about or when the government talk about free tuition at the university, Liberia University, I was like it was like a good thing for me, all right. But when I got here now, I got to understand that the decision to even make university or Liberia or a private university, let me say a public university free, it was a total, quite different thing to what is happening in America and the other developing country all
But
around here.
Sheldon,
Because
you
in
comparing
my
you comparing you comparing Liberia with America. Liberia got his own policies. America got their own policy. Other country has their own
You
policy. So
you are just comparing America. You are just comparing America with Labrador situation about the Jato Fana Minister
flying
health
people out of the
situation.
country.
Then why you telling the man what I call it? My man,
But Sheldon, you going to that Sheldon that close out. You begin the right top here.
I'm
That
not
close out anything. The president
I'm
travel and then we'll go to the.
not bringing different topic. What I'm trying to say here is, if you look
Mm-hmm.
at the decision our leader made, that what can get some of us frustrated actually. All right, I was just bringing that as an analogy to what is
Okay.
happening, like what we are seeing because right now, like I just told you from beginning, what is happening in the UG language say 200 million. For me, I'm very clear about that. And before we go to different topic, let me be clear that I'm not saying what UG say is lie. No, until they can tell all who all get the money and until the money can have an impact on Liberian, that would be very commendable. But for now, you don't expect me to commend somebody on thing that is very, very ambiguous. You don't expect me to commend such a person. So until that can be done, we are all Liberian. Anything that is good for Liberia, will be happy to see that our country, progressing.
All right, Shelton, gentlemen. We all know that for the past weeks, we've been there was this whole thing. It was talked about everywhere on the radio, on the TV, on the online platform, newspapers. We are tired suffering rally, and finally it was held. on yesterday. What do you got make of the we are tired suffering rally? Everything that comes with it.
All right.
Let's
Thank
discuss
you.
it. Was it
Thank you.
successful? Was it a failure?
Thank you very
What
much.
went wrong? What is to be seen in the future to come for Mr.
Thank you.
Cummings and the CPP?
Thank you very much. This was just intended to tell Dakpannah. I think
Yeah.
Gus is in the back.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay, I see him, I see him.
first of all, Mr. Alexander Cummings and his attire suffering or retire suffering campaign,
But
I would
Papi,
say
let me
I
hold
would
you there.
mhm.
Papi, let me hold you there. That will table that conversation until we bring Gus. Then you have a say to what we've been discussing. Yeah, saying he just joining. Mr. Gus, welcome.
Thank you. How you doing, brothers?
We are doing good. Thanks for having you on.
Yeah, just coming, running home from doing. America can the competition in this place, my man. The peer pressure.
That's
Is it
you.
at Christmas time? Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from on my way home. Yeah, go ahead. What's the
Okay.
topic?
Well, we looking at President Weah trip. I think he wrap it up on the 15, 16. He wrap up his trip. His 48 days trip. I know some of you guys say 40, but some people say 48. I will go with 48 days trip. And as I learned that he's in Ghana, and he will be leaving for Ghana to go to Liberia on tomorrow. My friend Papi described it as merrymaking. He's there in Ghana merrymaking. And there are rumors that President Weah is there to get married, to have a second wife. We don't know how true is that. But what do you make of President Weah visit to the U.S. particularly?
Well, I mean, again, I'm gonna be the one of the people that support the president and believe that the trip was too long. And again, they could have segmented the trip. I know there was a lot he had to do. There was a lot of
Mhm.
engagement that was planned, but there was in between days that you could have segmented because the president fly away private jet, especially in the sub region. So I don't see how they couldn't go back for 1 or 2 days. Show your face and then head back. But again, that's
Gus, that's
Liberia,
the
right?
point. That's the point. You my
Yeah, but
boy.
yeah, again, that's Liberia.
So
We
yeah, Papi on the same track today.
no, my man, we're not. What the truth is this: you should not be gone that long. Okay, and again, I still agree. Whatever the president, you can still run the government from different places. But we're talking about country Liberia. We're not
Hmm.
a advanced country where systems are in place where everything is
Well, God driving, so
coming call.
we will.
Hello,
Okay, yeah, we'll get
hello,
him.
yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
go
an
ahead.
incoming call. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not. This is not like America where you have systems in place where even if the president is incapacitated, nobody's worried that much because they know the system still moves until they go through their process. You know, we don't have that in our country. So I think there was just some missteps there that, again, even putting out the president itinerary, he is the president of Liberia. He is
Hmm.
entitled to certain rights. And this is what people forget. This is why I don't get on a tirade or, oh, we are did this, we are wearing this, you're doing that. When you vote somebody president, you give them the latitude of a lot. That means that person is the single most important citizen in your country, safety or all of that we see in America here. You know, that's how important it is for you to vote somebody. But still, does not mean that when you're going this long, there isn't like somebody in the background. I say, Mr. President, the trip kind of long. Can we come back like after this other stuff? Those things don't happen because in our country, everybody just want to sing the kumbaya song. So, I mean, that's that. But I will tell you this on a good note of the president travel, we got to be honest. The fact that people are engaging this man is very important. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. If Liberia is being engaged again with the international community, I think it's good. Even if he doesn't win, the next president can take on from there. But we had a situation we had 2 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, when they first came in, when there was no engagement and all of those things. We saw the impact that had on our country. Their engagement alone coming to America, let's think about it. If America was not going to give us and all of these other countries to take care of our elections, you think we will have elections? Yes, the census was still going through. You know, let's be honest, we are good at paying people's salary, especially the BB people. We pay their salary, the legislatures, we give them their money for their county development. I saw last time they brought Samuel to it. The first thing Samuel to us said, my man, I'll come and give you a check for the county development. You know what? They all shut up because that money is going towards their elections. So they will take that development fund and go in the counties and say, oh yeah, we're doing this and this for you guys, so people can vote them back. So I would say the trip, whatever the president brought is fine. But I think for me as a Liberian, I was happy to see our president on the international stage where he's mingling with the powers that be. Now, if they screw up on what they could get from it, their government will suffer. Obviously, our people will suffer a little bit, but it will give our people an opportunity to then think about something else. But for the president trip, I think it was a successful trip. I wish the time was not.
Commissioner of Maritime, Eugene Nangwe, who been speaking on behalf of the government during the president travel,
No,
said
you
that.
said the mayor was appointed as advisor, designated
Well,
as advisor. So
let
refer
me
to
give
that
it to you, let
person.
me tell you. Eugene Nangwe been speaking on behalf of the government during the president travel. He said that all in all, the government is expected to receive 200 million. But my guys are saying that they don't believe it. Some Papi said it's a mirage, it's a lie. The government is not saying the truth. What do you make of it? He said that 200
Well,
million, we expected to receive 200 million.
well, Papi, I get your what's the word for it? You know, when you're skeptical, your skepticism. Um, and he's got every right to. Again, this is where I have a lot of problem. Again, I support this government, but why put information out that I cannot substantiate? You know what I'm saying? Again,
Oh,
we
oh,
love the
oh,
morale
oh,
so much.
man. Can't get my back off.
Oh man, move ahead. We'll come in. We'll get to your flocking side.
So they are enjoying God. Okay.
We'll get to your flocking side. No, but I mean, let's be real, my man. You know, it's always like I tell people in this country, all my beginner, my brother and I can kind of they working on their second, third masters. What good is all of that stuff if you're struggling to make ends meet? You know, isn't that just for show? $200 million, okay, that's fine. If we got $200 million, let's see it in writing. Let's see the other things. Those are the things I want to see because it's easy for me to then defend the government when I can say, and somebody, Papi asked me, he said, my man, show me proof. Because Papi's going to ask me, where's the proof? And I cannot show him the proof. So for me, I can't sit on here and say, oh, yeah, it's a great thing, blah, 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 blah. Until I have proofs, until I believe and I see it, I can't say much about it because I'm not privy to those information. And the sad thing is, again, the good thing is the president coming back in the country. I'm usually on freedom and we're talking about these things. You know, the good thing is, okay, if from all indication we have a guy that is incompetent to be running the information ministry, right? Because the fact that, you remember, they had to bring Bwaka Fofana to America, not the information minister.
That's the
You
point.
see, what's his name is running, Eugene Nagbe is saying everything about the government now. The
But what is
information
wrong with
minister not
that?
saying anything.
It does an
Something
issue with
is
that. It
wrong.
does an issue with
Something
that.
is wrong.
Yes,
Dakpannah,
my
something is
brother.
wrong.
When you
What?
hire somebody, my man, why, first of all, that's the other thing with Liberia. Why am I paying you if you're not doing your job? The American man will do that to you. Go miss 1 or 2 days of work, you know, and you ain't find a reason why you're not there. Matter of fact, they ain't paying you for those 1 or 2 days, except if you got concrete reason like you're sick or something where legally they have to pay you. You know, there's no reason why this man, it seems like he does not have any information to be able to share with the people. So why is he information minister? We can't continue to do these kind of things, you know. But I'm glad other people are doing it. At least right now, people know what's happening. Because in the past, you didn't know what was happening because nobody was even saying anything. But I think that's another thing the president needs to really look at. Maybe this man was not a good pick, and that's why some of us have heard that a lot of the people that are recommended by surrogates, and sometimes you could have said no, you know. And I'll be honest with you. Some people think, oh, since McGill left, oh, things, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I think it's the best thing that happened to this government. Because I truly believe that other people are able to step up again instead of just McGill running that around the president situation. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly believe some of the things that you're seeing with Mr. Weah right now has a lot to do with the American man said that naked you. Getting rid of some of those people around him that, you know what I'm saying, that just he couldn't say no to. You know what I'm saying? So right now he has to work along with other people. So I mean I think, like I said, I think the trip was good. I think whatever Mr. Nagbe said, we have to wait and see. The president will be on the ground tomorrow. Hopefully he will have a chance to have at least a quick press briefing, and some intangibles will be delivered to our people. And if not, I mean, I know we know of at least the United States government is going to support those 6 countries elections. So they're going to basically fund those elections. So we're going to have election this coming October. So to me, that's a really, really good thing. But outside of that, I don't
Okay.
know
But
anything
don't you
else that
think,
he
don't
have or
you,
any other
gentlemen,
leader.
all of you guys, I'll ask you the question quickly. Don't you think Liberia will be at risk in not receiving that money if those censure officials are allowed to contest?
My brother,
No, the
first of all,
government. Wait, hold on. The American government said that those people are allowed to run because the American government cannot stop that. Again, now it's on the people, the citizens. And I'll be honest
Okay.
with you, I don't think McGill can win. Everybody is saying everything what they want to say. Look, I don't think McGill can win in Magibi. I am telling you. Okay, and then Tuareg has a better chance only because it's so remote. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really have a lot of the Morovia baggage. But
Hmm.
Magibi, you think that's basically small
Oh, well, but
Morovia,
Prince
right?
Johnson, Prince Johnson as well. Prince
Well,
Johnson do
Prince
the
Johnson's
censure.
gonna win. Prince Johnson's gonna win. That's,
Hmm.
I mean, that's a fact. Again, you can't change that. The American government have already told us that they cannot tell us who to elect.
So they
What
will
they
not
will
hold
do
back
is
support. They will not hold back support to the
no, they
NEC.
can't do that. It's be
Okay.
illegal. They can't do that. They won't do that. You know, what they would do is this. They will make it hard for those people to function. And that's what they're doing. So they will make it hard. So what they're gonna do is, Mr. Weah, if you're gonna work with Prince Johnson, how are you working with him? It has to be more open and transparent. If you know what I'm saying? You can't be
Hmm.
going and doing no hanky panky like they've done in the past, right? You can't be doing those things because they will be washed now. If they look at those things and they say, okay, there was a change of funding for support and blah, 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 then they can come after you, Mr. Weah, because they cannot work with Mr. Weah, but they can't stop the Liberian people from picking who they represent. If I got it correctly, because I think those
Okay.
people came
So
on
that go.
OKFM and said that.
All right. That go to Papi. Papi, you can answer it quickly, and then we'll go
well,
to Shelter and then
well,
we'll. Mhm.
well, thank you very much. First of all, like God put it, right?
Mhm.
Liberia is a country that is giving God hard time in terms of
They
sharing
got
his
bowed.
blessings. Because in the first place,
Oh man,
we
bring
are no
Satan now.
I can't bring it up. We, we are very good at rewarding people who committed atrocities against us, who kill our people, who rape our sisters, who did a lot of terrible and horrible things. Those are people that we put at the helm of authority to be able to determine or to run our lives and run our
Papi, don't
people.
you think it's because of fear?
Why should you be fear?
Because
What you get?
again, that's a psychological effect, Papi. Sorry. Remember, it's like the woman that's getting abused. What do? They're scared to leave. They don't know what else they can have, and they're afraid of being traumatized further. Let's be honest. The people, who else can they trust over a man that was willing to fight for them in Prince Johnson case?
Okay.
Okay,
Like
the
in that
Manuel people
case,
does the same thing. Go ahead.
like McGill, it's difficult for McGill to win in my GB. I will say this for the record. I will slightly disagree with you. Why? The reason is that I can say this for the record. They stole money that Mr. McGill got stockpiled in his house. He will infuse it in the elections as long as he gets
Allegedly.
Leave that, not allegedly.
My man, what you saying? The driver took it?
He's a what? Driver took what? No, I'm not coming to driver.
No, we'll go to that one. Let's hold on that one yet. That's no worry.
Mr. Nathaniel Magay is the only official of government that resigned from the freaking government and still rides the Nissan Jeep. Yeah? And as we speak, information is that he still gets paid. His sister is the deputy finance minister. Incompetent as she is, she sits at the Ministry of Finance. I remember doing her confirmation hearing. Then you can't elect me. I mean, gosh, for that election in Magibi, save this post. Liberian people can pull out surprises. They don't like good people. We don't vote for idea. We vote for thieves, criminals, and hooligans. If Magay gets qualified by the National Elections Commission, Magay will be the first person to be announced as senator in our country. All because Laboga looted wealth parking somewhere. At the end of the day, to be able to infuse into the process. You know how to refer to Magay when you go to Division 13, when you go to Firestone, you know how to refer to him? The savior. The savior. When the Magay became savior, when Magay could not even afford to pay who rent on our street. Yeah? When you could not afford to pay who rent. That's a 5 year. The man already multi-millionaire in Liberia. The Koji could not pay rent. He was living in President. We are national resident.
Man, let leave that one alone, man.
So those are just things. I'm just telling you. So if the American people tell us that we should be able, they will not tell us who to. I mean, it's just a wash word. But at the end of the day, Liberian people do not vote for ideas. We vote for thieves, criminals, and rogues. Yeah, that's it. Magay will win.
Okay, so the Americans will not hold back support to the NEC if Mangio and the rest of the guys.
Absolutely, they will give you the money. They will give you the money. But at the end of the day, MCC compared to pass. Those are things that the MCC look at. The compare look at. You will not pass corruption index. Corruption, you cannot pass it. You cannot pass it. The 200 million usually number what they announce, and you know by just passing the MCC compare, you normally get 200 million. For the rest of that year, that 1 year they were able to pass successfully, and they got 200 million.
Okay. All right, let's go to Shelton. Then you have a say, and then we'll go to the whole we are tired suffering rally.
Yeah, Dakpannah, in the first place, like what God said and what Papi said, American people, we can't really, for me, those people, they are very hard to understand, sincerely speaking. But the main problem here is, why should we even intend to do business with somebody that already been sanctioned by American government? It would really want to benefit.
But Sheldon, the thing we have discussed the thing here before. The Constitution is clear. Those people, they have to be found guilty before you get denied of anything. So the question I'm asking here, if those people, if they are allowed to contest, will the US government give the support they promise or they will hold back?
Let me ask a question here. Shelton,
Oh,
Shelton, let me ask
is
you a real question, real quick. You remember
yeah.
what's the brother, Samukai? Were you in
Mm-hmm.
favor of
Yes.
Samukai? Were you one of
Yes,
those
Samuka.
against the president? I mean, the people from letting him get his seat, get seated or whatever.
Now it was that whole thing was the making of George Weah and Jefferson Koji and
No,
all
we're
of
not
these
talking about the
people.
No,
making. We're
no,
talking about the thing. The thing is the law. It
no.
went
The
through the
reason why
court.
I asked the question
They
is
never found
because it's the
guilty,
same
and they
thing.
still allow him because he took a pew.
Exactly. So,
Where
but
your
here's
question
the thing:
coming
we still have one other chance to make him not take his seat. If President Weah don't win,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whoever wins the next Senate, the next House of Representatives or whatever, can make that decision also. So this is why America would be careful. They don't want to do that. They want to make sure, because you're a sovereign nation, they don't want you to say, "Oh, America may us do this." So we still have other opportunities to convince people to make sure they don't get it.
brother? I see that if we force ourselves to do business with those people that have been sanctioned by American government, for me, I see that America going to hold back their support. That is very clear. Because if
Okay.
America do not do business with the people, they think it's just clear to you, they are said to you that do not transact business with the people. And then you say, okay, why your people say that nonsense they talking, you will do business with them. You think they will open up to you? For me, I don't see anything that America, I already told you, do not do that because of people, according to American government or according to America, those people they are criminal. Let's just say it that way. Because they have all the necessary evidence in their possession that those guys were involved into dubious act. So they are telling you now that do not do business with those people. And then you say, okay, why American government saying or why American people saying, that stupid will do business. For me, I don't see that America will even, give you the support that you want because they will do everything to strangulate your government. So for me, they are going to hold back their support. Then to end up with a note, you say God said that if election were to be held today, how they call him, Nathaniel McGill is
McGill.
not going to
Mm-hmm.
off. Just take your heart from that one. I think you follow the recent interview that was conducted by how they call Spoon
Mm-hmm.
Network in my
Mm-hmm.
the people. Our society, the society, women said the society we live in is quite different from Liberia. Right now, if you go to Waterside right now, you stole money from Fuda men. What people say, oh, they men stole money, and you take that same money, the people are telling you, say you steal, you start giving it to him, they say, oh, God, a good man. And that what happening here in Liberia right now. Even to the extent that the old lady, then the old man, the young guy, when they ask them who you think will win if election were to be held today, they say Maggie. When they ask them why Maggie, they say because Maggie faced our role. Those are the justification they were giving
Pay
if
our children
election were
school
to
fees.
pay our
Mm-hmm.
children's school fee. So if people conduct election in Maggie right now and Nathaniel Maggie is qualified to run, is a clear indication that he's going to win. That one, there is no argument about it. But the only thing we are going to be talking to the government or we are going to be talking to our government is those that have been sanctioned already, I think will be next because in the people sanctioned, they told you clearly that do not transact business with them.
But Sharon, you
So
can't
if
violate their rights. If you deny them, if the NEC deny them, they will go to the Supreme Court.
I know
They will
that
go to the Supreme Court.
our
Mm-hmm.
constitution,
Switching to a different device. Please bring me on.
Okay, okay.
I know our constitution, call for that. That I do agree with you, Dakpannah, that the type of justice that system that we have, the adversary system of justice call for that. Somebody is supposed to be, innocent before proven guilty. That we know. But what we're saying here is that you and your big brother somewhere in a huna. Lord, just take it as an
But
example.
running a country is different from big brother. Oh. Letting all the country know we are sovereign nation. We got our constitution. We got a law that govern us. So the
why you talking?
constitution say you got to be found guilty. You
My
got to be
man,
found
you talking about
guilty.
sovereign nation? Where was sovereign nation? Job when Job wanted child stealer within, where was it? What is sovereign nation you talking about here?
That was a different thing. That was we were going through a crisis. That was a crisis. We were facing crisis. So we're in a state of emergency.
I agree
when you're in a
that.
state of emergency, you suspend some part of the constitution. You know that.
I agree that America, Liberia, sovereign nation. But a sovereign nation we cannot even produce pepper on our own. We depend on America.
Let me hold you there, Sheldon. Let me hold you there because I don't let people denigrate Liberia. But that go to the
we can produce pepper.
Remember Nima. Remember Nima. Remember Nima. How you can say we get that pepper? We can go pepper in local Nima and other places. What are you talking? You know. But that go to the we are trying suffering reality. Sheldon, we are on the national stage. We gotta be careful what we say about our country or the international stage. We are tired suffering reality. Papi, you was starting up.
Yeah, we are tired suffering rally. The entire rally in the first place. It was something that was a complete fun. How can you say you tired suffering that you had 700,000? Hello.
Let me hold you. Look, I have an emergency. Let me hold you there quickly and get my view and leave, please, Papi.
Okay, go ahead.
No, Dakpannah, we are tired of suffering. I always told, my pastor told me before that the thing they call knee have infect. All right. The intent of we are tired suffering for me is good. But the knee alone say, cripple them to the extent that they couldn't get
the need that was associated with it.
Yeah, we are tired suffering. You say you are tired suffering, you are tired suffering campaign. So it tells you that almost everybody, in the country now, those that believe in your ideology, they are suffering. And then the same people who say they are tired suffering, the driver of Martin Cooler run away with 70K because he was suffering, and then they have problems. All right? You say you are tired suffering, you are tired suffering, and then you are tired suffering campaign. I think those same people supposed to be hearing or they supposed to be commending Martin Cooler, driver, because according to you, you are tired suffering, and that guy have been suffering, and he is tired suffering. At the end of the day, he for 70K.
But
then you
stealing,
say,
but stealing. They didn't give him a but he steal.
Because he was because he was suffering. All right, because he was suffering. So, and what I just telling you in nutshell, even though that's a fun part of it or Dakpannah, but sincerely speaking, we are tired suffering rally was very good because if you look at the country right now, you will find out that almost everybody in the country, one way or other, most people in the country now are suffering. But again, what I want to say here before I leave,
was it successful? Was it a success? Judging from the attendance, was it a success?
It could be a successful rally based on how you see it. Other people may see that it was not successful.
I see you now. They said they was expecting 100,000 plus people. Was that the case?
Yeah, so if you got 100,000 people yesterday, it means that it was successful. So if you don't have it, it means that you are not successful. That is just
so what do you make of it? That you saw it with the people that you saw over there?
With the people that went over there yesterday that felt that they were suffering, the people that went there. But for me, I will not tell you it was successful because The number, the estimated number that the people gave her, it was not what we saw yesterday. But in the eyes of a person or other people, they may say it was successful because all of the people make a effort to have gone there. So that's why I just told you it depends who see it to be successful or who see it to not be successful. All right. So in a nutshell, yeah, like I told you, I don't want. I'm about to leave. I have an emergency somewhere.
All right, Shelton. Okay, Shelton. Thank you. You're gonna need me, you can join me anytime. Yeah, but we'll soon be wrapping ourselves. But Papi, that go to you, Papi.
Like I said, the first thing the name we are tired suffering, it was in no way a group that called themselves that they tired suffering. The former ambassador for Liberia to the United Nations, based in New York, Mr. Louis Brown. The message was actually good, but the presenters of the message, they are completely out of what they were saying. First of all, Mr. Monticula, over the past, has been associated with a lot of criminality. So, what he explained to Front Page Africa, from what I read, it was a complete setup and a game. And another means of, this is the Monticula made on a GSA road.
You mean Monticula?
Monticula.
Yeah, Monticula.
Monticula was a susupa in Liberia. He ran away with people's money before. This is the same Kula that was in the office of Senator Darius Delon. And he left or he resigned, but he was still receiving pay. And Delon raised alarm about it. He said,
I was a setup. He said I was a setup.
He said I was a setup. So the name Monticula is just associated with criminality. So for that, and if I were Mr. Cummings, yesterday the tenor, it clearly shows him that he's far from becoming president. He's very much far from becoming president. He should not waste the resources. That he save his money for his family for another time or for another thing.
So Papi, what are you saying? Are you trying to tell us that Cummings should just call it a day? He should just wash his hands from politics? He shouldn't have his hair anymore.
And seek something different, because obviously, from the tenor we saw yesterday, from footage and videos that we have seen from 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
What's the estimation?
Up to the time that the standard bearer, quote unquote, was speaking, were less than 1,500 people there.
Wow.
I remember Mr. Louis Brown was on our network. He boasted, I'm telling you, was on 1,000.
Yeah, he boasted 100,000.
He boasted like they could put 100,000 people outside. Mr. How do you call it?
40,000.
He are going to bring his truck and bring over
40,000.
But where is it? Mr. Henry Costa said, for me, I don't do rally, I do protest. I am not supporting them. I am not supporting them. And I call on all my supporters to stay away. The
But Papi, during the protest, we saw Mr. Comey convoy. Does that convoy represent somebody who is tired suffering? Why were you calling on people? You say we are tired suffering, then that kind of car, those kind of flashy vehicles.
No, Dakpannah, this entire suffering was not about Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings.
It was not about Mr. Cummings.
It was about
but then why you are being sympathetic? You sympathizing with the people. How will you go there with those kind of vehicles, those kind of flashy, sophisticated vehicles?
President, my man, listen. The man is put yourself in a situation.
The man is projecting himself to be president, so you're not expecting to be wheelbarrow.
Yeah, no. But
for that day at least, he's all drive taxi. He's all a taxi to go over there.
Drive taxi, even a Joe Howard Taylor that you supporting when you are contesting to be senator, not even vice president when you are contesting.
No, but you can't be calling for that kind of rally. We are tired suffering. If I were me, I would ride Keke to go there.
No, Dakpannah, listen. But here's the funny thing. Let's talk about the money.
Okay.
My man, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about what Liberia these guys done grew up in, but I don't know anybody that called themselves driver that have been trusted that much to even go in the main house. Let's be honest. How many driver can go
True.
sit in the main
True.
house,
True.
let alone get $70,000 to take somewhere?
No, first of all, this is what happened. From the story that Mr. Monty Colley or Monty Kohler or
Kula, yeah.
Monty Kula narrated with Front Page Africa, it was completely a mesh. And then again, okay, Monty Kula said he has left his office and went downstairs. His driver was in his office and went downstairs to redirect the crowd, because there was crowd that was yeah, that was there to receive money for some other projects of some for they were doing payment. Okay, just within that time, when he came down from when he came from downstairs, he could not see a driver. He went to a car. When
Hold
he
on,
went
was
to a
this
car,
driver Martin Kula driver?
yes, Monty
Wait,
Kula.
can you believe in Liberia? Martin Kula has a driver. My man, no offense. The
No,
richest
no,
man in this country drive his own car.
of course, of course,
Go
of
ahead.
course. Like for example, Amazon chief. When I went to Seattle the other time, I'm not saying they say when I went to Seattle, Jeff Bezos drove and said we both out to the red light together. Jeff Bezos, no driver. You know the man is the second richest man in the world, but a brother nonsense can happen. He said yeah driver. Can you imagine? The driver went according to him when he went downstairs, he left the car key there, and the driver was nowhere to be found. He blew a alarm to say, "Oh, roll." Allow the net to pass before Mr. Louis Brown to come take a pulpit. Podium. This man is a rogue, and this that's the. They want to believe. They want to make us to believe. But for me, like I said, in terms of turnout, I'll be very honest, God, between you and I, the number that I saw yesterday from different time, it was under 1,005.
It completely, and honestly, even that is a stretch.
Yeah, it
But
was under
here's the thing.
1,005.
Listen, so here's the thing. I was on Lufa Julius' platform, and I had mentioned to Lufa, we were discussing this. I said, you know what? Instead of spending money on Riley, imagine and salaries on all of these surrogates. Imagine Mr. Cummings took some of that money. You know, people say, "Oh, that's not what private citizens are supposed to be doing." That's not true. There's a thing called philanthropy. Okay, even though he's running for president, he could still be a philanthropist. Okay, look, President Obama, when he graduated from law school, could have gone to the greatest law firms in America, which his wife did. What did he do? He went to the South Side of Chicago, correct? Became a community organizer, live in a community with the people, identify with them. So what did they believe? He was one of them. Even though his wife was a renowned lawyer. Nobody did. You know what I'm saying? Why is it any different in Liberia? Mr. Cummings, there are a lot of issues. I even told these guys, I said, Mr. Cummings, think for instance, the schools are dilapidated. They don't have chairs. Imagine if you went and called all those computers in every different county and said, listen, we're going to tackle seating situation in these public schools. But guess what? We're employing those carpenters now that will be building those chairs, those armchairs, and they'll always say Cummings Africa Foundation. You don't think that will resonate? You know, the same old good old United States. You know why United States got sick of giving people money and use USAID? Because USAID can put a name right on it. Go find any project USAID did.
Of course.
It's on
Even
there.
even
By
even
USAID. UNICEF.
or hand pump, they would do it.
Yes.
Anything.
Because again, people have to be able to relate to who is trying to change their lives. Why do people love George Weah? And that's why some people come here and say, oh, blah, blah, blah. The man will not read you this and that. My man, during George Weah days, I think George Weah made less than $13 million in salaries or so, something like that, 13 or so million dollars. You know how much money that was compared to now today? That would be in a what? $130 million category. When, what's his name? Michael Jordan first contract, go look at it. It wasn't the $200 million he got him making now today, right? But back then, that was a substantial amount of money. That's why George Weah could support the team. That's why he could fly to Liberia. He could do all those things he did. And those are the reasons why today, no matter what George Weah does, people still say, oh, the man got the country at heart, because he didn't have to do those things. Mr. Cummings don't have to do the things that I just mentioned. But those things will resonate with the people because their government does not do it for them. But we don't want to do those things. We want to sit here and spend, I don't know, whatever the budget was for that, we tired suffering. You tired suffering, you need a stage. You need to build a platform. You need to get fat guys walking in front of a crowd. You know, Liberia now, we know the people that are suffering. Their stomach ain't big. Right?
Some of them were even tired walking.
They were tired walking. You know? So again, those are the things that you could tell by Mr. Cummings' body gesture. It was not good. And I will not be surprised if the man does some serious soul searching and go, listen, I didn't listen to the people when they said making this move was going to affect me, but I think I really see what it meant. And I will tell you, I support President Weah, but I always say this. I want him to get the greatest challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how Liberia is going to get better. He has to be able to do better than what he has done over the last 5 years. And how can he do that? Somebody has to push him, you know? Somebody else that would look like, oh my God, if I don't start doing this, this person would beat me. Guess what? He will do better, because that's how I do in my own life. I do well because I want to make sure the next guy doesn't take my job. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it. But this whole retired suffering, I think it was a big fiasco. But a lot of people that are in this country, again, that want their chances back home. And I will say this, some of them don't like it, is a fact. We saw it on Madame Salif. She brought all the brain. We have brain drain. All those people that came back were paid $20,000 a month, $15,000, whatever, blah, 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 housing allowances. Dakpannah, you were there. Those guys that were getting the housing allowances and all kinds of stuff. After she left, where are they?
They all back.
Madame Salif's son. Remember, he used to run this thing called Heart? I mean, I tried to do something with Hearts. I couldn't do it. Because this man, people don't realize, unlike his other brother who stole a lot from Noka, this man stole so much money coming through JFK, called Hearts, H-E-A-R-T. It's probably not in existence anymore. If you go see what they were doing, they were getting a lot of funding internationally that was coming. He was getting some.
Yeah, that's the son who is called Adama.
Adama. He was the one that even asked him during Ebola. He left the country, and they asked him and said, "Why are you leaving? I thought you were a doctor, a renowned doctor in Liberia. Why are you leaving now?" He couldn't give a good answer. Go look up Adama's story. Most Liberians didn't see that, but all the monies that was coming to JFK, when you see Adama, when you see even the woman, Winnie Scott McDonald, where is she today? Who was she before she came to Liberia? For 12 years, Winnie Scott McDonald was in that JFK, running that place like her own, like a business. You know what I'm saying? So Liberian people, I think, in Mr. Cummings' group is intending to do the same thing.
Yes.
But they don't get it. They sit on here all day. They will cost you. They will cost me. They will do this and that. They're the most articulate. My man, I grew up in Vonjama District, Lofa County, my man. But thank God for damn America. You know, sometimes people can say, "Man, I like your accent." I say, "A small Loma and Kolo But I mean, to be honest, it was a failure, and I hope they do something about it. I hope.
But what's about the organization? Look at the T-shirt.
Yeah,
They said we are tired of suffering, but then they put Cummings photo on it.
The
Many
intention
people
of
say
the,
that.
the
Mm,
it's
intention
disingenuous
it
leaders,
was intended to project Mr. Comey that he has the masses, but yet their projection it
and that's
completely
how Louis
failed.
Brown gonna eat more money.
Yeah, it
mm.
completely failed. So at the end of the day, if I were Mr. Comey, I will redirect my effort on something else. I'll redirect my effort on something else. That's it. Because
Coming
with the
Africa Foundation,
with
you
the
do
team,
that
with the
enough.
with the guys that run here, they are just criminal and thieves that want to eat and put money in their pockets. That's all. At the end of the day, they're not going to deliver the kind of victory that he needs, and he will not get that victory. So at the end of the day, he should not waste his time. But from yesterday activity, he should be able to calculate fast and be able to dwell with some of the
But
criminals that got around him.
I'm not cutting you off, but the ANC supporters, they are still living in denial. Most especially those ones who are in the US. I had my show yesterday called the Political Roaster. Many of them came on that show and said that the rally was successful. Mr. Comey is formidable. That's what they said. They said the people turned out. It was successful.
October 2023 is not too
But
far.
although yeah, October
Wait,
10,
Papi,
2023.
Papi, just tell it, man.
Yeah,
Papi, tell it, man.
yeah.
You remember when Dara Julo were winning the election? What CDC people were saying? They're winning, right?
Yes, yeah. They say they're
Yeah.
winning.
When
They
you're in
say
a state of
in
denial, my
fact,
man.
they say that they are still
No, they say
more
wait till our
stronghold.
war room.
Yeah, we
The
waiting
war
for
room
war
number
room.
coming. But
Yeah,
that's what
war room.
happens when you're in a state of denial. You get hit,
Yeah.
you don't have a clue. They have to project themselves as winners because forget, think about how these people sometimes talk to you and I, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm-hmm.
they're the one that care about Liberia more because I support
Yeah.
George Weah means that I don't care about Liberia more. That's not true. George Weah is a
Mm-hmm.
Liberian citizen just as much as Mr. Cummings is.
Dakpannah,
You know? Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
because I'm not cutting you off, but guys, I had to run because I gotta go pick up my wife.
Yeah, but
So
we wind it down. We wind it down now. So we are our closing on everything we've been talking about, and we'll call it a day.
basically, if this would be my closing, I would say this for
Mm-hmm.
the record. Until Mr. Weah can go back to the country after spending 48 days out of the country, now he's merrymaking in Ghana. After merrymaking, then he go back to
Now,
Liberia
God will not agree with you.
and
That
be
very begging one.
and be able to tell us because it's our official state visit that he's having in Ghana. He's merrymaking. He got private jet parking right there at Kotoka. So why didn't he just flew straight to Liberia 1 hour 30 minutes? Then he can come back later. He show a face to the people, like God said. But why would you choose to be? I mean, so for that one, Mr. Weah, until Mr. Weah can go and give progress report to the legislature, who the legislature is the people representative. At the end of the day, to be able to inform the Liberian people, the president came from the country. This is why the president brought. Before I would get to believe what Mr. Eugene Nangbe, who is the maritime commissioner, if Eugene Nangbe should have come out to say, "Oh, okay, the Liberia Maritime Authority and the Coast Guard or whatever have signed this agreement, securing 200 million, no question. I can agree with that. But to just come and say the total travel of the president for 48 days is about they were able to get commitment of 200 million, and you want me to believe it? Please, I would not believe it. Even my 9-year-old son here, he telling nothing, you put slang your ear. Why is commitment? You ask me to do it to gain the definition first. And what are the tangible? What are those things that you make the commitment on? Is it a loan? Is it grant? Or is it I mean, they be able to tell us until George Weah and his team can go back to the country and tell us, I still don't believe, and I say and repeat, it's a lie. Big lie, lie. So until they can go and tell us. So with that, on the issue of Mr. Cummings, it's not too late. Don't waste your time. These people are around you, they want to fool you. Mr. Monty Kula and other folks, Monty Kula is noted for criminality. If we just do track record, that boy, everything he associated with, he crook people. He crook people. 70,000 or more to people at the end of the day. A driver run, you know, even say roll. At the end of the day, the driver cannot be found. It's a warning to Mr. Cummings. With less than 1,005 people coming outside, at the end of the day, they want to tell you that, oh, you are formidable. Their intention is to eat your money, and it will make you broke. The situation with the election, like I was telling you, I was planning to go to Liberia in March, and my sole purpose of going to Liberia was for me to go do voter registration. But the election house has come out to tell us time indefinite, no time. So why must I spend my money to go to Liberia at this time? To go until they can tell us, or until the American people can feel sorry for all the get our money for Nathaniel Magay situation in Magibi. And I know, save this post. Nathaniel Magay will be the few senators that will be announced winner, because people have started hailing him. Guys, that's Liberia there for us.
My man,
the
thank
thieves
you.
and the thieves and criminal and the plunderers of our economy are the one that will reward.
Well, again,
thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want me to go?
No, go ahead, Gus.
Yeah, I mean, I somewhat agree with you in some of your points. I mean, Liberia is, for me, it's just really sad that when we look at our country, we see where it is. We see where other countries are. It gotta hurt us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that we spend so much time on, we shouldn't. The things that we should be spending time on, we don't. You know, so it's like I sometimes don't even know what we want. Okay, when we look at Mr. Weah trip, again, I would tell everyone this: the president of any country do have the latitude to do some of these travels that they have. He also have access to vacation time. Again, my only thing is just tell the Liberian people that this is what you're doing. You're entitled to vacation time. Look at a lawmaker. How many times a lawmaker can really work in our country? And they're on vacation now for how many months? 2 or 3 months,
They
right?
work for only 6 months and they take break for 6 months.
Yeah. And the same lawmakers don't even live in the counties or districts that they represent. So the people that are even coming from Lofa, all those places, how many times they visit those places in a year time? I bet you some of them not even once a year. Okay? Again, if I was the opposition, those are the things that I'm going to beat my opponent on. It's not those other trivial stuff. Some merit making, yeah, he's the president. What do you expect? You know, he's the president. I'm sorry. You know, I'm Gus Corma. I work in this house here. I make money in this house. When I go out, I was going to do what I'm going to do. I'm sorry. That's just it. It might sound corny to some people, but the fact is, for you to be Mr. Weah, you have to be Mr. Weah on his failures. We can't continue to worry about all these other little stuff. All these little stuff are just easy to brush off. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say, oh, you just hit the man. Like the word hit position. The man wearing that kind of clothes. But look at some of your leaders around here. What are they wearing? You know what I'm saying? My brother Costa will be going to Liberia. There are going to be plenty of people lined up. Okay? My Costa wears some nice stuff, don't he? Like Gus Coleman does wear some nice stuff. And then somebody was, oh, that Liberian people money. You pay the man too, though. You know, when you elected him, you pay him to have that position. And you give him certain things that he's entitled to. You know? So what are you going to do about that? You can't do anything until October 2023. If you don't think he's doing well, then you can get rid of him. But I'll tell you this. In this year, the stuff that President Weah is going to deliver this year, you just sit there. That's all I say to you. People that were complaining about the invisible park, for instance, today, all of my friends that was in opposition, when they go back, they go, man, I was just went down there and this and that. Those things are happening. The hospitals, all those things are happening. Let's be real. We are running our country for the first time since 1989, right? Well, yeah, 1989, that's when the war started. Then things just went haywire. or let's just say 1990 when the war actually really hit Monrovia. You know what I'm saying? How many years has that been? Is it 30 something years? What is it, like 30, 33 years
From
almost? Yeah,
from the time it was up to now.
33 years almost. Yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
33 years. In 33 years, we have a country where the president hasn't been in the country for 48 days, like some of you are saying. No coup. We have all the issues that you're talking about. Yet still, when you go and interview the people, even with their dissatisfaction, they'll say, I'm keeping my answer till the day I go vote. So those of us that are out of the country, why do we like we get so angry to the point that instead of helping our people to understand why they need to vote people, the right people, we don't do that. But instead, we just get angry over what somebody's doing. Is it because we want the jobs in Liberia? Newsflash, some of you, I'm going to tell you this. Except you're a deadbeat dad or a mother that don't care about your child, but if you're born child in this country, there's no way you'll leave them here and go in Liberia and say that go work.
Gus,
Yeah.
let me hold you there and take the call up. Our dear friend from
All right.
Europe, Favor L. Morris, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hi, Gus. Your overall also pick up his wife. I was trying to say that I woke up like 30 minutes ago and I'm listening to you guys talking. It's so intelligent to do that. I ain't seen more than 10 person on the platform, but no problem. And yesterday, because yesterday was like the erotica market, I was trying so hard to come to tell my brother, please,
Phil L.
to slow
Morris.
down.
You get
Phil L.
it.
Morris. Yesterday was not a Dakpannah Show, it was a political roaster. That's a different show.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it was like you imagine. I'm like, I'm trying to call to get back and to try to tell Prince to slow down because he's young. Prince is so young, and something's gonna happen to him when you fall away and the Ghana commies. You don't understand a Liberian or African politics. You can do that. You gotta think about your own health. Everybody that comes on, you insult them. Wait, slow down. And you're not even in the country, you somewhere else. Are you going to vote? Do you have the number to offer me, to offer communists? These are things you should look at.
They said the protest, the rally was successful. Communist is formidable.
If you look at the rally, look at the rally on Saturday. Let's be honest. Look at it. You see tomorrow the people are going to the airport, the more the people are to the rally.
But let me
And
tell
I
you
was talking
something.
about how
They
much
said the
some
people didn't even
people.
get on the
A lot of
buses.
people are going to, oh, this in chapter was just so angry. But we carry new face to run the campaign. The old face is not going. Because they already destroyed something. The first 6 years were long, long. The president has claims. He gave it to you. Your work, none of them never work. It come a time now. Then they wanted people to get them back in the chair. Because of the president, a lot of them will come back. Because you were with comedians and that's what you know what I'm saying? It was just time for praise yesterday that I'm calling to talk to you. You gotta slow down. The quit to insult. The quit to tell us to be look at it on a girl that called yesterday. That is serious, she can't receive her, she can't read the man. And she said she afraid of cry. Oh no, you're not going to do that. Huh? You're afraid of cry? So they were gonna continue for comments. You just can't be afraid of cry. No, you can't do that. Because you gotta go in the dangerous, you gotta go slowly way.
She says you're using.
Go equal bro.
She says
People in the morning, through the morning,
She says you're.
to tell the code more. Oh, Oma, you get me go bro.
She says you're doing Jehovah Wednesday campaign. That Jehovah Wednesday campaign she'll do. One.
Oh, I see. Now it's similar to maybe But okay, I take to the back or Nima. One no water, don't really water. Then what you do now? So yesterday show was like too much chaos. I was wondering why this was so quiet and intelligent. Yesterday was so chaos.
This was different. That Dakpannah Show, yeah, so more professional.
Okay, like my brother said, if the president go back home, he get plans. Yes, people don't understand why he spent 40 days all over the country. But when he delivering and see what he will get, what he's doing, then they will see why he stayed so long. And then we Liberia, you will never see us going to impeach senator or representative almost only one president I was suffering us today. If we can go in our house and change all the laws and people, Liberia will start to be better. Because you pay someone 30,000, the person can even bill you a library in your district, but you see nothing. Then you just sitting there. But the first person you go to is the president. It's just more for me like being, But we going back, going to fight, talk, fight, go fight now, fighting with stuff and cause, we just going to tell the people for now to next year, August, September, what we're doing to fill it up. And in 6 years, to tell the people this is it. Liberia can be better than this. But choose President George, whatever we are again, we will be there. They will see the roads coming from Bongkate going to Nima, from Maryland going to Lofa, Sano, And we're going to really compete. We're going to compete trade. For now, he's the best. For Liberia. So that was gentlemen.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yesterday I was kind of confused.
Yes.
I wanted to call today. So I just was so quiet.
So yesterday, that one I did as an amateur show. We bring people on their Facebook Live, and when you bring people on their Facebook Live, you don't have control over them. You can't mute them, But they want anybody come on here, I can mute you. This one is a professional show.
And the priest was yelling. I mean, priest could talk. I mean, like, hey, come. What's happening to him? It's sad.
Okay. Thank you.
But we will get there. We'll get there.
Definitely.
And we can say we're getting there.
Yes.
So thanks. I mean, thanks for making me to understand yesterday and today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, bro. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, God, go ahead. I think you popped in yesterday, right? You left because you popped in yesterday on the program roster and then you left.
Yeah, I did for a minute and then I don't know what happened. Something came up. But yeah, I mean,
the show she's talking about. The guy was noisy, the guys were arguing.
Yeah, but again, this is what people are saying, and I hope Mr. Cummings, like I have gone on a couple shows, like on the Prince Sharif show, and I've asked him some questions. Those same things that people say, they say they will do something about it, but they don't. Again, Mr. Cummings still, I tell anybody this, he still remains one of our greatest assets.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For somebody to grow to that extent in the business community,
he's a role model.
Yes, you gotta give him all of that.
Yes,
but again, some people say, "Well, if you think so, how come you're not putting your weight behind?" No. How do I just go ahead and say, "Okay, I'm support Mr. Cummings," but you don't listen to things that people say? Okay, when situation occur, we're like, listen, some of us understand. Listen, I grew up in the interior. I know how the mindset is. Again, the people have never had anything that you're taking away from them, and that's what people here don't get. The Liberian people, I tell everybody, remember the wartime Dakpannah. When that rebel fashion came, you were not the one celebrating, because if you did, and no guy didn't lose the ground, guess what? You are the next target.
Yes.
That's how the Liberian people think. If you think about Liberians in general, we're very scared people. Okay? So we don't want to rock the boat. People aren't going to move until they feel like everybody's moving. That's what they don't want, because people feel like, oh my God, the way these things are going, the people cut everybody pay. they all decided to pull together. That's how they beat Thomas Farrar. They didn't beat Thomas Farrar because Darrell Jerome was the best candidate and he could beat Thomas Farrar one-on-one. No.
It was a joint effort.
Exactly. But you look at Unity Party, no candidate. Liberty Party, no candidate. I mean, well, Darrell Jerome, basically. What do you expect? That's what happened. You saw this go election when they were freaking injured. When they were injured, right? You saw what happened in Lofa County. You know what I'm saying? They can say what they want to say. When you talk to them today, they understand why they lost. Just the division. You had 3 or 4 different candidates in there that took from some of the Unity Party stronghold. You know what I'm saying? So right there alone, they weren't going to win. So going forward, again, if they stay the way they are, we already see Mr. Cummings, Unity Party people did not go support Mr. Cummings. You think if Mr. Cummings doesn't make it to the second round, he's going to support Unity Party people? Let's be honest. I mean, we're human beings. I won't do it myself. You know what I'm saying? So the same people that say, oh, why don't you do this because you said Mr. Cummings this and that. No. If Mr. Cummings get his house in order, he's able to convince people. That's how you can get people shifted from one end to the other. I didn't support CDC from the jump. 2 times I supported Madame Salif because I still believe Madame Salif gave us the best chance to get to where we are today. Because, again, we were coming from war. There were too many high heads. If we had another man that won that election, I'll be honest, another man that won that election and had some affiliation with one of the warring factions, something we're going to start. You know what I'm saying? Madame Salif brought women, or she was a woman. She was very articulate. She was well-versed with the international community. She was the first woman president. Goodwill was coming our way. So there was no way I was going to support even George Weah that I truly love because, like I said, when the war was crazy, I'm 10 years old. The only hope I had was when George Weah come in town, everything stopped. We had some kind of normalcy. You know what I'm saying? So for that, I've always felt like he did his part for the Liberian people when Liberia really needed him. You know? So Mr. Cummings people just need to find a way to get rid of like the Louis Bryan them. Again, they can still be part of you, but I'm not giving them my money into
and also they stop the diversionary tactics because every time when they sit on spoon, they try to talk about Cummings, then they try to divert, talk about George Weah.
Look at
George
the
Weah
young
already
people he
president.
has. He has Mariah Yakula. Mariah Yakula should know that first of all, Mariah, if we want real change, we gotta meet the young people, even the ones that you didn't agree with. You supported Unity Party last time. Now you're supporting ANC. So the people that support CDC right now, or Liberty Party, or all those people, you have to find your hardest way to convince those people. Instead, they want to find the quickest way because they think Louis Bryan is going to come, he can talk a lot. You know, so maybe he will bring us all this stuff. But we saw what just happened. He talked a lot.
So this shortcut kill radio.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. And the radio, people don't get it. People don't get why they say that. You know the radio, how big is the radio? Yeah, the radio, what they can call it, I forget. The Thai chicken. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? The radio, people don't realize like the radio is the smallest deer. You know?
Yes.
But if you don't take shortcut, you'll get a big one with a big inlet and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but long story short is we see that in New Liberia, the people are not stupid. I expected yesterday to see some elderly people. This is the funny thing I didn't get. How strategic was that? Who are the most suffering masses in poor countries like Liberia? Old people. Handicaps. Let's be honest. Handicappers don't work in that country. We already disown them. Even their own family disown them. I didn't see one handicap. I didn't see elderly people. I didn't see any of those people. Guess who they were targeting? The people that can run their mouth all day on the radio station. I mean, those the people hustle. You see, you notice the other thing you notice in the Dakpannah, you notice the men are not wearing that t-shirt, they're tying it on their head.
Yes. Yes.
When you wear it, somebody say, man, I'm wearing that shirt. But he tie on his head. What is that telling you? The man ain't ready yet. Okay? He ain't ready to
And even
go.
some of the people that wore it, they said that they just wore it, just because they were less busy.
Oh no, people
And
say that they have
but
new outfit. That's how it goes. They say that election time, how
and
they
this
get
is
changed.
one woman, she said,
Uh-huh.
I know the person who I vote for the right on my tongue. Then the general said, but you gotta say it. He said, you want me to say it? My president. He said, who your president? He said, Joe, we are but you wear communist t-shirt. We are tired of suffering.
No, but no. So I mean, again, on the president trip, I hope
Mm-hmm.
they did get some good stuff. I hope so. I am
Mm-hmm.
happy, even if I was not a We Are fan. As a Liberian, we have to be happy, just like when Madame Salif was running around the globe, representing us and being able to. Mr. Weah, for 5 years, he was not able to have these things these engagements that he's having today. And we have to be impressed because those are the things that we used to say. Oh, nobody talking to the man. He can't sit. Some people, even before the man got here, doubted that he was going to even have a one-on-one with the American president. They
Mm-hmm.
said he was just going to be over there. You know what I'm saying? In a group.
Yeah.
That was it. Then when they started watching TV, the president, and people don't realize in this country, the seating arrangement, all of those things, they say, oh, because that was football game, they were watching it while he's sitting next
Yeah,
to
that
him.
was Papi
Listen,
just said. Papi said just a football game, so it mean
but
nothing.
listen, so let me tell you something.
Mm.
That really, you see, Mr. Biden and people, this country, one of the two things they really care about, family is one, and anything that has to do with their citizenry. Okay? America is
Mm-hmm.
still one of the countries where they will go for their dead body. I don't care if it's 300 years in the ground, they'll go dig it out and bring it. Okay? So don't forget, you get a president whose son is an American. And people are even saying that President William may have the blue book too. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? The man's
Yeah,
wife is
that's
an American.
bad allegation.
Yeah, I just saying. But the man's wife is a, how you call it? But man, it don't matter
Yeah,
anymore. I'm an American
yeah,
citizen. I've been saying this since 2005 to anybody.
yes.
Okay? But, and we already fixed that. We got dual citizenship
Mm-hmm.
now. Also, all y'all that were hiding, that were taking lesson passé when you got
They
older,
say
you
France
got to
too.
do
They say
that too.
make a French passport too.
But that's fine. So now that's taken care of. You can't go after him again. That's all you do. But long story short is the government, the United States governments know where our relationship there and all of these things that happen around the football that President we actually took advantage of it. Let's be honest. He needed to be there. The US was playing on a stage and his son participated. You don't know when people talk about Timothy Weah and they say, oh, his father is a president. What country is that? That brings something back. It relates to something, And that's why when you see the president sitting next to President Weah, it's not just because of football, you know. It's something called affection or admiration. When you start liking somebody, look at even their picture. If you look at a gesture in the Oval
Mm-hmm.
Office, some of
Mm-hmm.
those images, it shows that two people were genuinely being cordial and friendly with one another. They were not just there standing there like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because usually that's the diplomatic pose. You stand there and you go,
Even
no.
though Margaret Rubin said nothing of such are going to happen.
Well, of course. Because again, those guys were getting paid. Okay? They were getting paid. And people don't realize how America works.
Hmm.
When the Republican was in power, those guys had a lot of leverage. Okay? You remember the former ambassador to Liberia,
Yeah,
Linda Greenfield?
yeah,
Do you
Lena
know one
Thomas
of the
Greenfield.
reasons why CDC got in trouble was because of her?
Mm-hmm.
So when the men came here after the election, they sidelined her. But at the time, the woman didn't have a job. But what they forgot is this woman is a seasoned diplomat. The
Yeah.
Republicans were just in power. When the Democrats got in power, what do you think they're going to go back to? They're going to go to their pool of diplomats. Because just like any other country, Everybody know everybody. Now, who are we reporting to?
Mm.
The woman we silent because we say, oh, the woman used to be friends with Madame Salif.
Yeah.
But when they fix that relationship, look what's happening again. You see what I'm saying? They fix those relationships. They start interacting. So you are not able to really reach higher places than you could have if you sideline that lady like you did the first time. So again, the president is on the up and up, and it's going to be very hard to beat him. The only way you're going to beat President I will be honest with you, President, there has to be like the biggest scandal ever where it's impeachable. I don't see how President Weah lose the election because I'm telling you, this year.
So you think Bwaka does not have what it takes to defeat Weah this time around?
No. Well,
So what about the John ticket?
Bwaka
Bwaka's
still has this
incumbents.
problem. Let's be honest. Unity party problem still remains. My man, people still ain't gonna get over that. And then the puppet age is still something people are afraid of. But then there's something called
Gus,
yeah.
so in case he and Cummings decide to go together, like the CPP come together like the way it was before.
It will give Weah it will be the only thing that may get Weah the hardest chance to win. I'll be honest. If they come together, but they come together through which I don't think they can. And the reason why they can is people like Ure and them. I don't think they can at all. I don't think it's even possible. Okay? Because again, everybody is so greedy that they all want it for themselves. That's why they're doing all of these things. But if CPP has stayed together, not this last year and a half or 2 years now it's been, all the infighting since Zulon became senator. If those things had not happened, today I will tell you, George Weah could be packing his bag and leaving. But because they allow that friction, I don't see how they can beat George Weah. You know, let's think about it. The incumbency factor. George Weah won what? 14 county last time?
Yes, 14, second round 14.
Yeah. Okay. So you know he's still going to win those counties. Well, maybe he'll win 13. And you know what they will tell you? Oh, there's not too many people in those places. Who told you that? My man, you been in Liberia. What happened to get truck there? You know what I'm saying? Who told you that? What happens if the new census, those numbers are higher there? Who told you that? You know what I'm saying? Then let's go to Lofa. Lofa, if Joseph Walker don't win the 90% he got last time, and he win about 60 or 75%, what does that do to President Weah numbers? It boosts it up more. You know? You telling me 51% President Weah cannot get 51% in the second round against as an incumbent against Joseph Walker or anybody else? My man, that kind of betting is hard, my man. You know? It's hard to put your money on something like that. You know, so for me, I still don't see how it works. They come together, and I know what President Weah intentions are in this next year. The Lofa Road project that they started should be completed. Okay, the Bapuru hospital will be done. You know, you saw the pavement, the roads to I think the southeast there from is it Grand Juliet to how you call it? Those will be done. And there's just too many that PHP project, people, you know how people say everything about how you call it? That PHP project is another one that is going to be sick. I'm telling you. You know, people don't realize when you look at Morovia, you look at that whole PHP area behind the barracks there.
Yeah.
That's a thriving place. That place could really take over people going to shop over at Waterside. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The shops and everything that they're having there, if they run it correctly, people will go shop over there, tourists and whatnot. That place is not far from where? Mama Point. You know what I'm saying? So you get the whole communities of and remember Budget Bureau that where all the other ambassador they live. Yeah. Those of us who are on Capitol Hill. You know, all back there, you got the Swedish embassy and the ambassador that live there. So all those people now, guess where they're hanging out? Over in places like that. When you go to Morovia now, you have somewhere you can go to and you can share with people around the world. I mean, people will resonate with those things. And then don't forget, even the school situation, people say so. A lot of the people realize that it's taking some of the burden off of them. You listen to the young people when they were talking about when they're doing the spoon interviews, you know, with the YF. Remember, Ellen Johnson, what happened? How many people filled that YF? You remember that one?
A lot of people.
A
It
lot
was
of
very
people.
miserable.
And what was one of the things that was recommended? We needed to do something with the the preparation, okay, of students for those tests, which we don't do. You know, you're not teaching the subject in class. You're not doing all of those things. Then before the test, the children they ain't got it. And then the smart children, then they may be coming from the poor sector where they can't afford to pay the exam. So then everybody that pay the exam are the people that can't go to school, that can just get their grade bought. You know what I'm saying? And you know that. You know, if I'm getting it, this and that, the minister children there, you go pay for all your grade, but when you go to take the wire, you can't pay for it. Then they flunk.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So those things, I mean, you can say what you want to say. For them to be President Weah, they will have to hit his record. And I truly believe, like I said again, I didn't know Miguel from nowhere. I met him once in America here. And some of the people that knew him are big brothers that I respect. But since he left, I truly believe President Weah has become a little more relatable. President Weah,
But the opposition been saying otherwise.
No, you know why? Because how many scandals you've gotten since he left?
None.
Well, since McGill left, people can go and see the president by free will. The president can do his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Eugene Namba they're talking now.
And this
when
guy,
McGill was there, those people were not talking.
and this guy who is not the new minister of state, he was a lawmaker, 210 lawmaker
Was he? I don't
from
know
how you
him.
call it,
I don't know
from
him.
Riverside, from Grand Coup.
Okay. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
him.
served as chairman on executive.
Okay. Oh no, Madam Salif?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So he was with the Action Party.
Okay.
And then when they moved on to UP, then later on they left in front of the LPDP.
Right. Well, again, those are good things for the
So
collaboration.
he's somebody who is knowledgeable when it comes to government. That's what I'm trying to put here say. So he's
Right.
very knowledgeable. So I think that he will really he's the kind of people you really need for the president of it. I've met a Mangio who the only position he held was assistant minister at internal affairs. He didn't even stay there long, and then he resigned because of pressure from the party. And,
So again,
put him
and
in
that's
that
the
kind of
thing.
key position.
I truly believe there was too many competing. Everybody was competing for what they can do for themselves. Let's just put it that way. Today, things have calmed down a little bit. You know, you look at even when the president goes for initiation, you don't see Bakube Jr., you don't see the other person, you don't see that other person. You know, it looks a little more functional. You see what I'm saying? It don't look like Prada boys that are hanging out. For me, and those.
And can you imagine? I'm talking about on this trip, the president made Samateur not even part of it.
Right. Again, those are the good optics matters. You see what I'm saying? To the point, those people were overshadowing the president. You know, they were, and sometimes people don't get it. You know our society, right? Be better, by this and that. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you kind of, you get, you just respect so much from those people that you anything they say goes. You know what I'm saying? I see even the president and his wife look a lot happier together. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? So when this person talking about, oh, the man going get his wife in Ghana, they're laughing. I mean, look at. You know what I'm saying? They look relaxed. They look. I mean, they look presidential. They look. You know what I'm saying? it felt like some of the weight of the president is just off his shoulder. You know, you see the president pretty cocky right now, and that's what I keep telling him. When George Weah start feeling like that, you don't mess with him. I'm being honest. It was the same way on the football field. When they said, man, Salinsa better than him, that one you're gonna play. You know what I'm saying? That's George Weah. So again, let them sit there and say everything they want to say, call him names, say all kind of stuff. The man is what we call part of the people. And you know it. Some of us that grew up in the interior, I always say this. When you walk there and the devil come up, you know what to do. And the guy in from there, he's asking questions, what should I do? And when you start asking questions, they say, my man, just go inside. George Weah don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? They say, my man, just go inside. Because the second question they ask you, you answer, my man, you might be okay. So just go inside. And George Weah is at the point where he's feeling very good. And I think he feels like there's a lot he can do. And I think if given the opportunity, he will. The only thing is, I hope and I pray all the time. I'm going to sound like, what's his name from Spoon? You always say, I hope and pray. Tomlin.
George.
Yeah. But, you know, that the president and the team can really, really start putting a lot of stuff on paper. You know, like, hey, here's a deadline. We're going to start this project here, and we're going to finish this project on this day. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see more of that. There's the next speech. I want the president to lay out his plan, like categorically, like what we're doing this day, that day, by election day, such and such. Hopefully, the census will be all completed. Because again, you saw what happened there. The young man said the truth because the young man knew that we weren't ready, but other people told the president otherwise, and he still went and did the pronouncement. Hopefully, he can address those things when he goes.
Now the vice president, she's on top of it, so I trust it.
Okay, they want you think that better for that situation here? No. So I mean, again, so hopefully that will be taken care of. Even the vice president and the president. Look at those things. They're working in concert. They're working together.
Definitely. See the role the vice president playing now.
3 years ago, my man, they fired out in that whole.
I agree with you. Magio has some negative impact on the president.
So those are the things I'm talking about. So you got today, the president don't have those weight that he has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? He is engaging even the other parties more and better. The only thing they need to deal with now is, and if I have anything to do with it, and every time I'm on a platform, I say these things because the presidents talk to me and understand that Gus Corma is a guy that I don't want nothing from nobody or anything like that. I've been blessed. I just want to have an impact in that country in the sense that I'm in the healthcare side. So I want to make sure healthcare is good and all of that. But like, I just want to make sure that, like you see, they brought Molu, like they can take care of the Molu situation. You know, the president of Molu can hush whatever happened there, and Molu is back on board and getting the support that he needs, because Molu is a strong man. The people, again, like the resignation I talked about, when Molu walk, people know. When they know that Molu is inside, Molu would bring more people. But when they see that Molu is outside and he naked, it will be hard for Molu to even sell the ticket to the people. And I just hope the president and the team.
He's loved by the people. He loves by the partisans.
Oh yeah, and if after this long vacation, when they get home, you know, that's one of the things that they do: get back together, bring Molu in. And have the discussion. Look, what's the plan? Let's have a real game plan, and then bring the other parties in, do some of the signings they need to do. And I think those are the things that are going to happen here in the next few months. And the president will be back here in a few months too, you know. And that's telling.
I understand he'll be back in March.
Yeah. And don't be surprised if President Biden have a state visit in Liberia. I'm just gonna tell you that.
Will that happen during the time of election? Because America don't like to interfere with election.
He's not
So
gonna. That's
the
not
one may
called
think that his
interfering.
visit
He
may
may not
be like
That's not interfering. It's not election day.
okay.
It's not
I know
election day.
that, but going
But
to
he's
Liberia in an election year,
yeah,
one may say, "Oh, Biden is trying to give we are more weight."
my man. All we are there have to do is do the invitation,
Yeah,
do the things that is necessary.
because next year he promised to visit Africa.
Yeah, again.
At least that even family don't say he can stop, no problem.
But I hate that. The man got a visit for Africa. All you
Yeah.
have to do now, do the work
Hmm.
and invite the man to Timothy Weah homeland. Biden will come there. Don't forget, President Biden owe a lot to black people. They may try to be president forever. Now one black man get
Definitely.
made, man, come vice
Yeah,
president
black
there.
man, me, yeah, definitely. He
Yeah,
tried
so
way back. I thought tomorrow even born. He tried. No way.
yeah, no way. So yeah, but again, I'm glad to be on here.
Yeah.
Let's have the discussion. You know what? One day, the other thing I want us to do sometime is Dakpannah. Let's do
Hmm.
some educational program
Yes.
on like improving lives in America. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
real estate, financial, and all of those things that I think people need to know, like talk about, because there's a lot of people that come in this country that don't know how to get up or move up to the next level, and how can they do it? You know, I think those are things that we need to talk about. Even like we can discuss how uh, the job situation. I mean, a lot of us,
Hmm.
the first alternative is just find the easiest job you can find quickly. I mean, if you have some kind of
Hmm.
skills, find a way to get in there, and if you got some kind of aptitude, find a way to find that job that you want, your dream job.
Hmm.
And how do you get to it? How do you attain it? We can do shows like that and invite other people
Yeah.
on. There's some big
Yeah.
brothers in this country that I myself, when I do stuff, I always call them. And when we were on radio LIB, that's
Yeah.
one thing we really used to do. We
Yeah.
had we had a lot of people that had some expertise in other places, and they just been here too damn long. They knew how things work, so they can
Yeah.
help you navigate your way through. So I hope sometimes we just kind of balance it from the
Yeah. We'll
politics
do
to
that
just
instead of talking
social.
politics all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So our women, they can learn. Hey, it's important to keep the children in school, check their homework. Call the teachers and all those other things that we need to do to make sure our community is growing. Because if this community grow, it will be a reflection of the community down
And
in
also for
Liberia.
people to even go back to school because some people over here they're not even thinking of going back to school to build that
Right.
capacity.
But again, if
Yeah.
you're not going back to school, that's fine too. Again, I'll tell you this. I always go
Hmm.
back to, and I was just on another show. I told somebody that yesterday. I said, go back to our country. The bitter ball seller, why they selling bitter ball all the time? They didn't go to school. They wanted to make sure Dakpannah went to school, right? So they were doing everything. They stopped for a reason so you can carry on. You know, I said in our head, my daughter, my oldest one is gonna go into law school. Okay,
Hmm.
so she's gonna learn more book than I ever had. But if I
Definitely.
if I want to compete with her, then the other sister then will not have the same opportunity, right? So I can't do that. I gotta end my own and
Yeah.
then make sure they get to where they need to go. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So my
Yeah.
wife and our goal is to make sure that they get what we didn't get, even the lifestyle they live. Yeah, the
That's a good
lifestyle
one.
I didn't live, that's
That's
what
a
they
good
live.
one.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that
That's a good one.
I think we can think about. Like, I don't know, find a day, find a social night, when we can do
Yeah.
something like that. I know Lofa
Yes.
Jewelers does something with the
Yeah.
women. They do a thing. What do they call it? It's more like
Yeah.
relationship stuff.
It'll
Yeah, I
be
think it's
tough.
more relationship stuff. But I like to
Yeah.
discuss
It'll be
more
tough.
like
Yeah.
um, um, financial literacy and all of those things. So if you really want to do something like that,
Yeah.
and again, by the way, I don't have no financial expertise, but I learned a lot in this country on my own. Other people taught me, and
Yeah.
I think my family and I are doing okay. And I think if somebody can learn how I did it, they can work their way
Hmm.
through, and it'll be fine. and there's other people that are doing the
Definitely.
same thing.
We also broadcast on YouTube, so this video will always be there for people to go to. So I will find time. I will reach out and see who will be waiting to join us. We can talk about it.
Yeah, and if you just pick one day, you will see how it will pick up. I mean, we just one day we just pick a
Mm-hmm.
topic. Let's just talk
Yeah,
about the
but
school
somehow
system.
about it's not about the view. All about it's about us coming here and doing what we think is right, and
Right,
the records will be there for tomorrow.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man. All right. Well,
Thank
I see
you.
you. But you see how it
Uh,
is when you're talking politics. You see how the burn can get so fire up. This line will be hot.
yeah, the
The
people love
line will be
politics.
hot.
But when you're talking the other things that go away, I don't know why we are so into politics,
No, because I think it's
into
heavy though.
drama.
It just politics emphasize what we believe in. When Dakpannah's doing good, instead of saying Dakpannah how you did it, we want to bring him down. My man, this man
Mhm.
ain't got this degree. That man ain't got this. That man ain't got that. Instead of saying, my man, well, how you?
Yeah,
It's the guy your show on. You know, I follow you from a long time. Dakpannah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Because are you there? Okay. All right, like we got some problem with us. We're not getting him. But yeah, we are on the show. This is the Dakpannah Show. If you are just tuning in, we are winding down this edition of the show. Want to say thanks to all of you guys, that took time off to be with us. Continue to spread the message. On the Dakpannah Show, we come here, we discuss the issues that matter most to Liberia. We are very independent in our analysis. We afford all the opportunity to come on here and let's discuss the issue. That's all. It's all about Mama Liberia. It's all about our country, the foul mark of Liberia. How can we develop? How can we make Liberia better? What needs to be done to raise Liberia high above the fray? So we always come on here. We encourage you people to come on here. Those of you that mean well for Liberia, don't discuss. Do not abandon this kind of discussion. Do not turn your back only because we are not into drama, we are not going at each other, only because we are not insulting, we're not using profane languages. We need to support this kind of platform that mean well for our country and our people. So we'll always be here. We will never get deterred, no matter we got one person or two, three persons following us. We'll continue to come on here. This is why we put a lot into this. We invest a lot into this. Even this software that we're using, the screen, yeah, that we're using. Do you know how many dollars it costs? We love what we do. We feel that this is the way in which we can contribute to our country in our little wee way. The little contribution that we can give to that bro is by coming on here talking about our country, looking at of reaching out for the betterment of our country. Yeah, the betterment of Liberia is what we desire. How Liberia can rise. How can we how can we graduate from our ugly past? You know, so we'll continue to come on here no matter what. We will continue to come on here. We won't give up. We are broadcasting. This show is broadcast on YouTube. It's on other platforms. So we will be here always to speak to the issues, talk about Liberia, come in with our recommendations, suggestions, analysis, thoughts, and so forth. Will not be deterred, will not feel discouraged because of the low views, but we'll always encourage you guys that this is the right place for you to be. This is where we think this is where we think Liberians need to gather. This is a conduit to promote peace, reconciliation, and national unity. So we are a platform that is patriotic, we are nationalistic, we owe it to Liberia, and we'll continue to be there for our country. So I want to say thank you. I spoke a lot of the commenting on the political roster, so I think the guys said it all. So we want to say thank you. We'll be back again another time. So I want to say thank you. Goodbye. We'll be back another time. All of you guys have been following. I want to say thank you and welcome and thank you all. See you guys.